All right, welcome back to Monday Night Lights. We're back after a little hiatus as I took last Monday off, but we return with our best of 7 show matches, and I have a brand new face in the booth with me tonight. I got Brody joining me all the way from the Georgia Esports League. Brody, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to kind of branch outside of just Georgia Rocket League. There's so many incredible teams even within the same region that Georgia inhabits, and I'm excited to be a part of Monday Night Lights for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, being a Georgia guy, like, you're getting a full taste of the rest of the East Coast here with UNC Charlotte coming from North Carolina, Purdue. I'm actually not sure where Purdue is off the top of my head.
It's in Indiana, I
Thank
think.
you. This is why I brought you on here to keep me honest about where Purdue is. But kind of northern, on the northern side, far away from Georgia. So I'm glad you're joining me here to get familiar with these guys. But I think we're getting started here, Brody. So Purdue and UNC Charlotte are kind of a weird match. Like this doesn't really happen in regional leagues or anything like that, with Purdue being on the northern side. But we're both going to learn what they look like here tonight as Purdue and UNC Charlotte gets kicked off.
Yeah, like you said, something that doesn't really happen all that often is you get these two teams from across the regions and a perfect show match format like you have set up. I cannot wait to see which team can prove themselves the victors tonight, as early stages, a little bit of back and forth actually going on, not too much in either direction, but that's a great touch in the midfield.
Yeah, it is. And what a clear. Purdue getting some oomph on that one, but they still have to fall back. UNC Charlotte putting a bit of pressure on. And I'm hoping this is an even matchup between these two, because Purdue recently, as they made a great save, I was going to talk about them, but UNC Charlotte's doing the kicking off of the scoring here with that quick transition. But what a save that was by Ryan Coolio there right after the initial chance, Brody.
Yeah, such an incredible save, but unfortunately there was only really one way to get that one out of the net, so the pre-jump can come through and quickly get the first goal towards UNC Charlotte. Great start from them. The offense on that side of things looking real fluid as those infield passes came in, but just as I say that, Enchanted answers back for Purdue.
I'm glad it's a quick answer, because I wanted to talk about Purdue's recent results that I've seen from them. One LAN, one online. They played at the Queen City Clash in Cincinnati, and they placed top 4 there. They upset Wichita State, then they got beat by Cincinnati, the hometown team, in the semifinals. But it's a solid result from them. Like, I've met these guys at the Bluegrass Boost Battle a couple of times, and so really cool guys. I know that they're a very talented team, like on the up and up at the moment. So I think UNCC, who's a solid team in the SEL, is a great matchup for them, but UNCC's just overcommit and gifted that one to Plain.
Yeah, and then a second goal after going down 1-0. That's a great response from the Purdue boys. I mean, like you said, this is definitely a bit of a litmus test. You know, us here in the SEL can only really it's hard to compare across regions, so you get these two teams that in your head might be a little bit evenly matched, but definitely Purdue can absolutely prove just how good they are across regions by maybe taking it to UNCC tonight.
I mean, they've been making waves recently. They got some revenge on Cincinnati as well in the CCS kickoff tournament, that 64-team March Madness-style single elim bracket. And so they made top 4 there, took a couple games off of Colorado. Purdue is hot right now. So I'm excited to see how UNCC responds now to the run that Purdue has gone on. 2 straight goals unanswered so far, but the Niners, a bit of a run of possession here. A lot of corner play in the Purdue end, but the Boilermakers find a way out.
For now, as the touch goes right back the other way, Coolio just slides a bit too far under the ball there, trying to find his team who is lining up in the center there. Instead, it pops up towards the midfield, and Plain could do a lot from this position. Instead, he's too low on boost to get back to the ball, and a clearance for now for UNCC.
Oh, Coolio's doing work in the corner, setting up Lazy, who takes his sweet time with that shot. He waited until the last second to place that one perfectly top right.
Yeah. Quality over quantity right now for UNCC.
Wow.
Every shot has basically landed in that exact top corner. And that one the definition of unsavable. That's a great second goal from UNCC to take things back to deadlock at 2-2.
And I love that, like, Lazy waited for that and still placed it perfectly. Like, when I take my time on a shot like that, it almost always misses on whatever open net I'm trying to take my time with. So, impressive. Lazy, like, baited the defense out, was waiting to see if they were truly out of position, and then nailed his mark. And that's the response I was looking for as well after Purdue went on a quick run there.
Yeah, perfect composure. Like you said, you know, easy to psych yourself out in that position, but instead, that's such an unfortunate bounce. But speaking of unfortunate bounces, that one just popped straight up after hitting the corner bar there. That's such a strange bounce to come through. And instead, the pass is going to come through in the center. Enchanted finds his second goal of the match, this time as a result of a solid infield pass. That actually hit both of his teammates.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that scraped the top of Ryan's car heading the other way.
That was perfect. I mean, we talk about the unfortunate bounces that preceded that opportunity, but Purdue just took it in stride. Like, it took that unfortunate bounce, took control in the corner, and then put it across the UNCC box like it was nothing. Well done to answer back, get themselves another lead with 2 minutes left. This game one has had no shortage of goals.
Absolutely not. Each team's taken their time on offense to precisely score these nice goals, and we have a 5-goal game in game one, like you said, with so much time remaining. And things haven't really been happening too much in the midfield. A lot of corner play through the first half of this game, but Plain, I wasn't even too sure he had enough boost to beat the second player, but he lifts it directly over the man coming from the far side of the field, and that's another 2-goal lead for Purdue.
That was pretty. I mean, just a clean air dribble to get over the entirety of the UNCC defense. I mean, it's simple, but it's effective, as UNCC was trying to get back in transition, and now they have a serious little gauntlet in the final 90 seconds as Purdue have seriously picked up steam at the end of this first game. It's best of 7, of course, so a little lengthy. You got time to recover if you do drop this first game, but UNCC, I'm sure, do not want to drop this first game.
No, game one is such a tough one to lose, as you kind of see where the momentum might lie and who's going to have the advantage in terms of recovery. And Coolio putting in a banger from the midfield. Sneaks past on the ground.
Oh, Coolio is so good at just these simple plays. That dominus is a staple of the SEL. Simple, but effective. And Coolio just a clean beat. And there you go. Cutting the lead in half. Exactly what the doctor ordered for UNCC. We'll see if they can add to it and tie us up here.
It's been so back and forth, even though Purdue still has the lead here. It's hard to tell who will be leading when it's all said and done after 50 more seconds, as each team offensively has looked almost unstoppable when they get their opportunity.
Nice pass. Coolio, a shot, gets through 2. It's a night for a rebound that had no one jumping after the shot got past that first defender. But it's a little bit too high. UNCC squandered that chance just a little bit. With 30 seconds left, they're starting to gain more and more control of the midfield, more and more space to shoot. Lazy couldn't drop that ball quick enough, so Purdue find themselves an out, find themselves a scrambled UNCC defense, but Lazy takes control, flicks it over, Enchanted, and in for the tie. 4-4 with 14 seconds left. Here we go.
What an awkward spot to get such a great counter off of. You saw 2 players basically panicked on that near post, but Lazy, the composure that he's had all throughout game one, pays off there with a solid flick to make things 4-4 with only 14 seconds left. Ridiculously close first game.
Oh, this is what I love. I mean, a lot of times in these best of 7s with teams that I don't know how they're going to match up, but with very few previous results, it's always like a blowout or maybe like a 1 or 2 goal game. It's a little close, but we're getting treated right now in game 1 of UNCC versus Purdue. 4-4 overtime is just about as exciting as it gets in a game 1.
Absolutely, and basically off kickoff, the ball flying towards that Purdue half, and like I said earlier, offensively, these teams have been very hard to stop when they get rolling, and this time, though, in a dangerous spot is the Purdue attack. That's a great dunk, basically, from the roof. Leaves the team a second to recover. UNCC is going to poke it out for now, and there's a huge read from Coolio.
still. Enchanted's collecting it. I mean, Purdue at the midfield has been great, but what a touch from Coolio. Hold on a second. Coolio's been great this game. He's got a hat trick and the game winner on one of the deftest touches you will see tonight. What a shot.
I mean, if that's not an advertisement for the Dominus, I don't know what is.
Facts.
Like you said, that thing is renowned at this point. That is a crazy creative touch out of a pretty awkward spot for any kind of offense, and he just nails that one over the defense of Purdue. And UNC Charlotte, I feel like probably not the team you would expect to win this game one based on how the momentum of the goals were going, but they pull it back in OT. What a sick game one, man. That was so cool.
Yeah. I always hope that when we do start off a stream like that, it's an indicator of how things are going to be going forward, because that was an absolute heater of a game one. 10 shots for UNCC, 11 for Purdue, 9 goals. We scored just about half of our attempts on target. That was awesome. Coolio is also going off. Like, he's not the mechanical carry that you would expect to see popping off for a hat trick in a game, but when he has his moments, they are moments. Coolio is feeling good, but Purdue, Brody, when they would gain control, it really felt like they were about to just get a big grip on the game and not relinquish it. They were going on runs in game one. UNCC just found ways to come back and make it close.
Yeah, definitely a scrappy effort from UNCC. You could see even in that final goal they scored, very unorthodox in terms of what you'd expect from team play. But Purdue, definitely, when they've had control, they have felt like they had a bit of an iron grip on the game. And here's Plane yet again, flying towards that UNCC net with all the boost in the world. And they do a great job of clearing it for the moment.
Enchanted? Okay, well, he just waited on that to see what Enchanted was going to do from the midfield, but this is where that iron grip starts to take control, with Purdue looking so fast in the offensive zone. Even the misses have an almost immediate follow-up, and they do have to retreat for a second. Ryan hung back for a moment. It takes a strong pinch to even get UNCC out of their half for a second. Purdue still going, still cooking in offense. Good save by Lazy, abates this attack for a moment, but the Boilermakers holding on to full control of possession here, but eventually they do break through. There's 1-0 for Purdue.
I think this is more along the lines of what we expected in their offensive attempts from game one, is this kind of prolonged trap. And this time they play it to absolute perfection, and all Lazy can do is just pray and flip towards the ball and pray there's a good 50-50 to clear it for now, because they were just so strangled on the boost side of things, and Purdue showing off their speed, like you said, and their fantastic offensive rotations in that to get their first goal of the game.
It's like they've got some kind of special type of gas that increases their average speed when Purdue's in offense, but when UNCC flips the field, they are able to do damage, which now they're trying to do right back in the Boilermakers' face. At the pass back, Lazy looking for Coolio Plutio right in front of the orange net, but that attempt is turned aside. Lazy retreats, grabs 100 boost, and avoids getting dunked by Enchanted. UNCC need to break out quickly, I feel, before Purdue can build up their attack again.
Yeah, they definitely learned after that first goal that as soon as they see that they get on the back foot a little bit on defense, they need to get the ball out of their half and give themselves some time to reset. Are we going to see another touch over from behind the ball there? That's a great angle. Coolio just a little bit too high. I thought he had a really good chance on that one. But the offense from UNCC is not going to slow down just there. They got a lot committed offensively here. That's a great touch from Knight. Let's see what Lazy can do off the side.
No.
He bumps his teammate, unfortunately.
Still almost worked out, though. Like, Lazy transitioned that very well from bumping his teammate out of a shot to nearly turning that ball back on the Purdue net. But it's still a miscue. UNCC do have to slow down for a moment, and Enchanted will get Purdue going again in the offensive zone. Coolio Plutio's clear, a little weak, and Ryan is there to just place kind of another weak touch towards the UNCC net. No one wanted to take that lethal attack and turn it on their opponent's net right here, as the defenses are intact for the moment, but UNCC backing all the way up to their goal line to try and grab boost and refuel for another counterattack here.
I think that was a rare occasion where UNCC gave possession away a little unpromptly, as they've been so good with that this game so far. And I thought things could be a little tough for them, but a great pre-jump out of net leaves Purdue a bit subdued for now. And that's a great touch to get past one, but Coolio handles the ball in maybe not quite the way he intended to. but the offense from UNCC still has a lot to play off of here, as the momentum is still flying towards that Purdue net. Payne is going to make that fantastic touch over one, and this one's headed on net, at least for a second through the smoke. I couldn't quite tell if that one was on or off target, but Purdue has all the momentum still.
I think that ball just like skipped barely off the corner of the goal to stay out from what I can tell about its trajectory, but that one is most certainly on target. Ryan making up for that last Purdue miss with a snipe from midfield. Purdue finally get their second. They catch UNCC out of position right there.
Yeah, very different goals, I feel like, on the two for Purdue so far. That one catching UNCC, rarely out of rotation defensively are they, but that time a great read from Ryan. And Purdue is, I think, in such a good spot right now. This doesn't feel like last game where, you know, no amount of goals felt like a safe buffer. This time, Purdue having two with how UNC Charlotte has had a hard time, you know, trying to play their game offensively. This could be a bit tougher for the comeback to happen for UNC in this game.
We've seen multi-goal runs so far in this series, but UNCC has been stuffed for the most part when they do enter the Purdue end. Right now, they're trying again, having one last go at this comeback, but Coolio's just flown underneath the ball, even playing an open net that he just sent off to the side. We'll see if that comes back to bite Purdue. It might, as Enchant's the only player back, and Lazy can't commit for that ball, but it's still not easy defense for Purdue. They really could have used that open net a second ago.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a miscue or something. That was a strange offensive blunder for Purdue so far. And either way, though, they've been so solid in the midfield, cutting off a lot of these UNC attacks. And that one no different as the clock ticks down. Looks like UNCC is going to go basically down and even the series up 1-1.
Okay, we slowed down a bit from the 9-goal affair that we had in Game 1. A 2-0 Game 2, Purdue did a much better job defensively in stopping what UNCC was throwing at them and even limiting their opportunities. I mean, look at that. 4 shots for UNCC this game after putting up 10 in the last one, and now 12 for Purdue, even upping their numbers in Game 2 relative to their Game 1 performance. So solid adjustments from Purdue. Outside of that open net, they were still extremely clinical in offense.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't want to read too far into it, considering how this series can definitely go the distance. But I think Purdue did a fantastic job of keeping UNC Charlotte from being comfortable in what they offensively did so well in Game 1. When they are able to slow play from those corners and basically grind the game down to kind of a series of 1-versus-1s, they were so good in Game 1 at converting a lot of those opportunities from the corner. Whereas this time, Purdue just not letting them ever get their footing in the offense by sending player after player directly into the faces of those UNCC offensive attacking players at the time.
And it just feels like Purdue ups their speed of rotations when they enter the offensive end. It's so impressive that they can just flip the switch just like that and start putting gobs of pressure on the UNC Charlotte goal line, putting up double-digit shot counters in the last 2 games, and forcing mistakes like that. Knight, a backwards touch that heads right into Ryan's outstretched arms, and that is a freebie given to Purdue by UNC Charlotte.
Yeah, and I think that was Plane flying directly at Knight as well, so even if that touch, was a little better, it might have just gotten stuffed right then and there. Purdue locking down that first goal of the game by forcing a mistake, and see what they can do from here. Last game they enjoyed, or actually all 3 games they've started on top, so definitely doing their best to keep things headed their way off the starting horn.
Lazy. He's going to have a Boilermaker in his face. Let's get it over 2, though. Enchanted, as the last man back, uses the corner perfectly, finds himself in a 1v1, goes for the musty to try and get past Coolio, and makes the defense awkward enough to invite Plane in and maybe turn possession for Purdue. But a close opportunity for the Boilermakers. UNC Charlotte has turned aside.
Yeah, that was a series of another kind of like UNC Charlotte like style, slowing the game down, trying to make things awkward, but Purdue never going to slow it down. These guys rifling shots from the midfield all game long, and that was a great touch from Enchanted to not allow Charlotte to make a big save or a big clearance from their end, and instead Ryan, ever the midfield sniper in this series, knocks another one bottom corner.
And you can see it in kind of the corner of your screen if you're watching on stream. Lazy getting a little bit too greedy, going for that corner 100, and was just inches out of position to try and save that. Does get a pogo set up for Coolio Plutio. I dig that. Flex your mechanics, Lazy, but does now have to defend in a 1v3 essentially, and does so unsuccessfully. That's 3-0 Purdue, and they are starting to run away with things here in Game 3.
Yeah, like you said, that was a nice little pogo setup. Maybe a little too committed offensively there. Wasn't too sure how Coolio was going to read that one, and instead it leaves Lazy in a 1v3, and he was going to have to make some immaculate effort defensively to clear that one towards the Purdue half. But a good demo leads maybe to some Charlotte offense instead, and Chanted's going to meet him right on the sidewall, and he's going to take it past two members of Purdue. That's a great touch back in from Lazy, but looks like the strategy's changed, Bepic. I think the game's starting to get a lot more physical as Charlotte needs to find a way back in, and they're going to do so by getting a little aggressive with the demos.
Great reaction by Knight coming out of that demo as well. Like being slowed down, losing the majority of his momentum in blowing up one of the Purdue players, and still getting that touch past the last man back. That was perfectly done by Knight through an absolute wrench in the defensive rotation of Purdue. And now there's life for UNCC. That ball goes off the crossbar. Lazy, another great setup. At this time, no one was there for, so UNCC not going to get hit in transition. Instead, setting up for a longer attempt on the Purdue Boilermakers net. Coolio Plutio on target. That's saved by Plane. Purdue doing a good job defending, but UNCC looking for blood.
Yeah, and you saw Knight there looking for a demo yet again. They saw how effective it was in the first goal, getting one back, and with just half the game gone, UNC Charlotte looks like a different team in this half, and they're definitely trying to make a run at that 3-goal lead at one point. Enchanted doing a great job defending his backboard on multiple occasions here on offense as he tries to take it past all three members of UNC Charlotte, but that gets snuffed out by Knight. And the game is picked up into a different kind of speed here as Purdue is going to enjoy that as they've loved playing fast so far with a touch off the ceiling. Enchanted sets himself up for a fantastic goal to basically hush the comeback attempts of UNC Charlotte. That was excellent.
Oh, the captain just stepped up big time right there. That's a big goal. Like, you still have a 2-goal lead, yes, but you're right. UNC Charlotte was having a good go at the potential mid-game comeback and trying to at least cut that lead down to 1, but that's Purdue's answer right there. That's deflating to have your opponent use that kind of goal to shut your comeback attempt down. As UNCC, they're capable of a 3-goal comeback again, but you gotta reset, you gotta try again, and all right, apparently the Niners have no issue with that as Knight again scores from this corner.
It's a great way to start. The comeback is reading that the defense of Purdue is just a tiny bit awkward, and fantastic timing from Knight to fly in and pick his spot out there and give themselves another chance at this comeback. Only 2 goals in between these two teams now.
I mean, 1:50 left. UNC Charlotte put up 5 goals in Game 1. They absolutely can do it again in Game 3. Purdue has already met their Game 1 total, but can they stave off this UNCC attack? Coolio just a bit too far out in front of that pass. Pass, maybe a bit too far behind him. I'll try again. The ball's popped over Enchanted's head, but playing right there, looking for a double on an open net. Barely misses it again. That corner has been the bane of Purdue's existence in this series. And UNCC turn it the other way. Coolio off the back wall for Knights, and that is 4-3 with 74 left on the clock.
Oh man, looks like they didn't shush him after all as Coolio pulling out some incredibly creative offense yet again from him, man. That dominance is lethal offensively as UNCC closes the gap to basically to 1 goal. 1:13 left. This is incredibly doable. Even a 2-goal swing is incredibly doable still from UNC Charlotte.
Especially in regulation. A minute left. They've been hitting quick. Purdue also no strangers to hitting fast, but they need cars to do that. That's a double demo down the line by Knight. And Ryan is left to pick up the pieces of offense in the UNCC end, and it does well to at least save possession for Purdue. Coolio Plutio, a pass off to Knight. Go off the ceiling with a 50-50. Lazy takes the one-timer. That plane does turn aside. Enchanted off the sidewall. Sets up Knight for a shot, but Purdue is completely back in defense here. UNCC have to do a little bit more than that if they want to break through. A Rule 1's been broken in the corner. And with 30 seconds left, we'll see if the karma comes back to bite Purdue.
Yeah, breaking the rule one in the corner when you're up a goal, you know, the Karma's not going to love that one.
Nope.
As Knight now offensively is going to beat one. Enchanted off the side, clears it for now. And Lazy in the middle, he realizes things are awkward. Unfortunately, Ryan is able to recover with no boost to his name, but this one flies middle. There's so little time left off the crossbar. Meets him in the midfield. It's looking like Purdue might be able to stave off the attack, but one more attempt goes a little too haywire, and that is a second game going the way of Purdue in a row. Well done from them.
And Coolio noting in chat that the Rule 1 was broken. Let the jury show, or let the record show rather, that the Rule 1 was broken in the corner. Doesn't affect Purdue's karma here in the corner, or here in the game, but we'll see if that goes forward. Because, I mean, Ryan embraces the cringe for a moment. Chanted believes in the karma. It's interesting to see how players take those Rule 1 breaks.
It feels like they didn't take them very well, considering the fact that they were still able to take that game free. And you know what? Another excellent game. I love the signs of life that UNC Charlotte was showing. I feel like that is a great sign for this series going forward, because I was worried after that game, after the start of that game, how strong Purdue was, that they had kind of found their footing and were ready to run with the rest of the series their way. But UNC Charlotte not going to take that one laying down, and now they need to prove it by taking another game back their way.
Right now, it feels like the name of the game in this series is just creativity in offense. Because there have been the occasional defensive mistakes to try and exploit the bad touches that give rebound opportunities to your opponent. But it comes down to creative setups. And right here, it was two Purdue players coming down the sideline into Enchanted, just using pure speed to get that ball center and force Knight to touch that ball awkwardly. That's a great transition by Purdue, flexing their counterattack might.
Absolutely, and coming off the back of speed yet again is Purdue's offensive opportunities. And that has been the name of the game all throughout this series so far. And here we go again, but this time slowing things down to a halt. He's trying to get that double tap through. But to no avail. That's a great 50 from Plane. Unfortunately, he's got nothing here going for him in the midfield in terms of boost. That's a great infield pass. Enchanted just a little behind it. And so far, Purdue once again, in the first minute of each game, they have looked like unstoppable offensively.
It's just they gain control so quickly off of the first couple of kickoffs, and then they look unstoppable, but then towards the end of the game it starts to slip, where UNC Charlotte's allowed to operate their offense just a little bit more, and they're creative enough, I feel, to break through Purdue's solid defense. And it's been kind of the makeup of at least like Game 1 and Game 3 in this series so far. Game 2 was a little more Purdue controlled, but regardless, right now we are in that Purdue control phase, so we'll see if this game mirrors Games 1 and 3 a little more, if it's more like Game 2, as UNC see allowed an out, but right now Enchanted has a ton of space to take that all away.
Feels like ever since that first goal, Purdue has been in control, but having a harder time finding the boosts around the map. These big touches from UNC Charlotte have been working very well, and then being able to reset their defensive rotations, and eventually might lead to something like this, where they have a bit more offensive freedom. Ryan just not leaving that ball like he is glued to the back of it in the midfield, giving his teammates so much time to try and line up a big clear, but that touch is not great. And Coolio off the top is going to score the goal for UNC Charlotte. That gets it back to even.
Awkward touch by Plane. Enchanted, okay, goes for more of the deft touch, creative stuff in the midfield. And I don't think that's at all what he was trying to do with the ball. There was no one back after he committed for it. And so UNCC kind of got gifted a goal right there. So they'll take that, I'm sure. Purdue, though, a nice response. Oh, the ticky-tack passing play and offense puts them right back out in front.
Yeah, just off the kickoffs, just yet again, man. They're all the way in that. He's already on the back wall when he's receiving that pass, not 5 seconds after the kickoff is hit in the midfield, and that's a great pass to see his teammate there. And as far as Purdue's responses have gone through the series, they have been answering every goal, basically. And once again, off the kickoff in this UNC Charlotte half, so aggressive. At least he gets the player out of the game there for Lazy. That's a great start to a defensive clearance. Another great bump. Now Lazy's got something here in the midair. Tries to beat one. Plane's going to get to the ball just as he lets it off the top of his car. And Coolio with the pop-up leads to some more aerial attempts from Ryan.
That's what Purdue's going for at the moment, flexing that aerial might. The pop up there, gonna put Plane right back into the arrow space. A double off the sidewall though keeps Purdue's offense on the field. Coolio trying to change that, sends the ball down the Knight, says go fetch Knights, and he fetches, sets up Coolio for a shot, but Plane back in the nick of time saves Purdue from conceding. And Ryan pressuring the near side, but Lazy does well to find Knight for a shot, and that one again just short of being on target, a little bit too slow as Plane gets back. Can't find that second touch he was looking for off the side wall, but still Purdue does not let UNCC set up their offense in that blue end.
Yeah, great midfield play from them to just slow down that offense from UNCC and grind things back to a halt. And then when the ball starts to get in these popped up areas, they've been so quick to basically go get it at the highest point. And Lazy now is going to do the same thing, trying to rotate from defense to offense, but Purdue just not letting it happen. But a demo comes through this time from Purdue, which leads this clearance to happen, and Lazy, a great touch to get it back to himself. But this time, the Purdue boys getting a bit more aggressive with the demos in an attempt just to halt the UNC Charlotte offense. Now Plane's got a shot. He's got to beat Knight off the near post, but that's a great read.
That was a tough read to make, but they made it. And UNCC allowed a shot on, but Purdue, they're defending well in transition. Aren't giving any more gifts over towards the Niners. Instead, it's Enchanted with 12 boost. Trying to play the role of the Grinch, setting up Ryan for a potential insurance goal in the final minute. But he is denied once again by UNCC on their goal line. That shot from Enchanted, though, an absolute sledgehammer. And the brick wall defense UNCC was playing just disintegrates. Beauty from Enchanted to put Purdue up by 2.
Wow, that speed off of the backboard was the name of the game there. That was an incredibly fast shot to catch Lazy out in the near post. I mean, he was in a position that maybe was savable, but off the... I'm interrupting myself because there's a bit of offensive pressure from UNCC off the kickoff, and they're trying to keep it up. Lazy with a crazy creative touch to get around 1. They need a goal right now if it's going to be a comeback in game number 4.
Yeah.
But every time it's in the air in front of their net, Purdue just does not let anything go through their airspace. But like I say, Lazy off the sidewall is going to put one in with 11 seconds left. This is not out of the realm of possibility.
It's so funny, that point you just made where when UNCC just puts a shot on target from the air on the Purdue net, like, it's typically saved. But then the one time you say it, they're not there. I don't know what happened to Purdue defense right there, but they've just given UNCC an in to the end of this game. And Coolio's on the ball, off the ceiling, setting up his teammates to let the ball go between them and give Purdue almost a free win. That's a fourth. I don't know what UNCC just did right there. Like, I thought they were going to have a great chance at a 0-second play, but instead they just gave that away to Purdue.
Oh man, that's so heartbreaking, because as soon as I saw Coolio take that touch off the corner seam in the roof, and I saw where his teammates were positioned, I was like, oh wow, they have both players on the same side ready to make a run at net here, but it just falls between them awkwardly. And it looked like a product of maybe Knight's boost counter. I couldn't quite tell if exactly what happened there, but that's a very anticlimactic way to end game 4 as Purdue is taking the series, man. At this point, they just look so solid.
They do. I mean, their offensive numbers kind of speak for themselves. In the games they've won, they've put up 12 shots, 9 shots, 14 shots, and a total of 10 goals on all of those attempts on the UNCC net. Their offense has looked very good, and their defense has made some blunders, but for the most part, they have looked solid enough in defense to let their offense do the talking when it comes to the end of these games. UNCC, it feels like they have to find a way to stop those highly mechanical, high-speed counterattacks that the Boilermakers have been using a lot of the time to find their goals in this series, which is a lot easier said than done, but they got to do it now for 3 straight games.
Yeah, and I guess now my initial question is, can Plane do it in the Jeep Wrangler? Because I did see the car switch come out for him. It looks like that's a bit of a byproduct of how comfortable Purdue's been looking since game 1. I mean, even in game 1, they were still able to create those same offensive numbers like you were saying, and they just kind of lose it in OT. But their responses to every time Charlotte has had pressured their way has been just by answering it with nearly an immediate goal each time. They have looked so confident off of the back of even taking like a tie game at any point. And every game so far, they've been able to answer first, so it's not like they've even really been playing from behind.
That's been the case, honestly. Purdue, when they do go from behind, it's not very long. They usually answer very quickly. But that Jeep Wrangler point is a good one to make. I'm interested to see how Plane plays with it, and we'll find out later, because that play was straight up just Ryan taking over in the corner. Beat Lazy once, and then beat Lazy twice to give Purdue the first blood in Game 5.
Such a tough spot for Lazy, because you saw the way Ryan was taking that 50. He was winning it.
Yep.
In any stretch of the imagination, he was on top of the ball with full boost. He's got that 51, but you know, Lazy's just got to bet on he can beat him back to the ball, and Ryan understood that that was the only way that he was going to be able to score that. And just so fast are these Purdue boys. They've looked so good mechanically at the level of speed they're playing at, and no different from any other game in the series so far. Purdue strikes first blood. It's all going to be about the UNC Charlotte response yet again, and that's a fantastic pass from Lazy, leading to Knight answering 1-1 with only a minute 20 off the clock.
Lazy says, you want a response? I'll show you a response. That is a dime down to Knight, who hits the shot, but that pass is what enables him to equalize the game right there. That was a pretty play out of UNCC, and if their offense is operating like that, creating plays like that, going forward, we could be in for a great showing in Game 5.
Yeah, that is definitely a good sign of response. The response coming this quickly into the game for UNC Charlotte leaves them a lot of time to flex that creative offense, and Knight's able to take this ball pretty much the entire length of the field, leaving Coolio in front of net. But still some work to do, as all the Purdue players are back and in a comfortable spot.
Plane popping this up to himself, using all that Jeep Wrangler's might to put a shot on. He does save it. Finds a block on Ryan's attempt at a near side touch. Chance dropping that down for Plane. A little stutter step to get himself space. Off the back wall, Plane puts it home. What a transition, starting with a little hezzy right there. That was pretty.
Man, and this car looks like it is more affected by gravity when it's flying. That is still a ridiculous goal to score with the Jeep Wrangler. And a great, once again, in the midfield, not letting UNC convert their defense into offense, is Enchanted just flying up and stopping the ball in its tracks. And that time, Plane read him perfectly, finding a fantastic double tap goal to take the game back into Purdue's hands.
Enchanted, though, with Plane at his side, was looking to move forward. Ryan did hold back, though, as UNCC found a nice 50 on their initial challenge. Lazy from his goal line, trying to flip the field. A full possession battle being invoked at the halfway point of Game 5. UNCC really needing to be the team that comes out on top of it, being down in a must-win game for them in this best-of-5. Must they be down 4-1 by Purdue, who I feel were the favorites by a slim margin coming into this series, and then they've looked the part in a couple of close games, but UNCC I know can make a run here at the end of this series. They just have to get their offense going a little bit more, and it starts with the passing plays. That one denied by Ryan on the goal line, though.
I mean, right now it kind of feels like we're settled in. The offensive rotation from UNC Charlotte this time feels like they've locked Purdue in a bit of a boost slump right now, and Coolio just kind of flying from goal line to goal line, just causing so much problems for this Purdue defense. And that goal almost is going to come through on the near post from Knight, and instead it's maybe the first breakdown of this great offensive rotation for now. But Lazy, though, not going to let things go so easily. That's a fantastic touch, and a basically unintentional double tap from Plane leads to the response from UNC Charlotte to even things back up. Wow, what a touch.
No kidding. And what an accidental double tap as well. That is a difficult shot to hit, no matter which side of the field you're on. All right, weird second goal, but UNCC absolutely will take that. And now they're looking for more. Lazy and Knight again combined for a passing play in the infield, but this time Enchanted has it read. Julio Pludio off the side wall, has that touch intercepted by Ryan. And in a tied game, Purdue looking for another go-ahead goal, which they're not going to find there as UNCC find a save and break out.
Yeah, Ryan doing so much correct there to get that ball in front of net. Unfortunately, just no one quite ready to receive from Purdue. This time might be a little bit of a different story. But Ryan not really being able to find his way back to that center pass. Instead, though, the UNC Charlotte offense has a bit to say on the counterattack, but Purdue doing a great job of disrupting everything. Enchanted rips a shot on target. Knight with the save as Ryan pops one back towards net. Good touch from Lazy to slow things down for now. Wow, things getting a little chippy towards both goals with the score still tied even. Like you said, there's a bit of a blunder of a touch there, not really leading to much, but instead could see some UNC Charlotte towards the last half of this game. Knight just a bit too strong, but he does beat the player.
All right, Lazy, and what do you have for us in the corner? Not much. Enchanted shuts him down. Knight now looking for a bump, finds a good touch center plane. It's to recover slowly, fakes the last man, gives Lazy an opportunity to win Game 5 at the buzzer. He was awkward in that Jeep Wrangler, thought Coolio Plutio was touching it. He wasn't. Lazy given an open net at 0 seconds. Game 5 goes the Niners' way.
There's been a lot of words I've used to describe UNC Charlotte's offense through these games, and the one that rings true at the end of this game is one that we've been harping on, is composure. That is a ridiculous last-second goal to realize, in Lazy's shoes, to realize that no one was going to touch that. Coolio putting enough pressure there to make playing think twice, and it's just going to fall into the hands of UNC Charlotte. And both of the games they've taken in the series have come off the back of these huge composure moments, not to mention the goal that made it into overtime in Game 1 was pretty much last second as well. So great stuff from UNC Charlotte to not say die in this series. Their series life was on the line, and they made it count.
It's a nice play to make up for their 0-second attempt in the last game as well, because like that Game 4 0-second play was not it for UNCC, but that was much better. I don't know if that fake was intentional out of Coolio, recognizing that plane was going for the block rather than the straight up hit the ball at the point of contact type of play. But either way, it works out for UNCC. They capitalize on an awkward Purdue defense, and they stay alive a little bit longer in this show match. But now we get to see the response from Purdue, and typically their responses have been very good in this series. Even when they drop Game 1, they rattle off 3 straight games. When they drop a goal, they usually rattle off a couple of consecutive scores. So now, moving into Game 6, Brody, we get to see what the Boilermakers do here.
Yep, and we get to see another car from Plain. As this game, he is in the Esper, which I'm glad you said it, because I don't remember what that car is called at all. So we're going to see a bit of a car roulette gameplay from Plain so far. But like you said, response has been the name of the game. And if I have to guess, Purdue's response is going to be positive. But there's no way. Lazy just not able to score on the near post after a double demo play from Knight. I was going to say UNC Charlotte needs to make sure that they start this game with some great momentum, and I thought the double demo play was a perfect way to start it off, but Lazy just could not convert. That is so unfortunate. And now Purdue, the door is open for them to continue their early game dominance.
Okay, that Esper, I mean, it's got the Octane hitbox, so in theory it should be the same. I was an Esper main back in my Platinum days, but I don't know if I can play it anymore. So I'm impressed that Plane is still flexing the off-meta car gameplay here in Game 6, but almost cost him in the early stages of Game 6. We'll see if it keeps going. Ryan, an air dribble, 50-50 with Lazy. UNCC trying to fight for another golden opportunity like they had to open up this game. It's going to be a while before they find another great chance like they just had.
You're definitely right, and those chances come few and far between for the UNC Charlotte offense, so it sucks to see such a solid offensive move just not come to a goal, and instead the slow corner play has been really solid from UNC Charlotte throughout each of the games, and Lazy able to get it past so many members of Purdue to try and start the offense up a little bit, but Ryan's so good in the air. His mechanics all series have been incredible, and he's able to carry it out of that Purdue half and start the offense up. But that's a great pass towards the middle. Knight trying to find that one on target. Instead, a great block from Enchanted as these offensive possessions go back and forth.
Oh, Plane using all of that Esper to get that ball far side. Perfectly placed shot. I knew he was going to shoot that as soon as Knight missed the bump. or whatever he was trying to do to zone plane off. And then Julio Pludio not finding a great touch right there. That is going to give a Purdue offense, as fast as they are, an opportunity to shoot, and Plane hit his mark. The Esper, I mean, I don't think I could place the ball that perfectly in that type of car.
No, why is he scoring all these fantastic goals with these terrible cars? It's honestly impressive that he has scored in both these games using the off-meta car picks. But like you said, that was so well placed, and Purdue ever the quick offense to find their opportunity off the back of maybe a missed touch, maybe a missed bump from the side of Knight. But either way, they're going to strike first like they have in every single series or game in the series so far, as Coolio trying to drop one in from the absolute ceiling. Knight's going to pass this one right back to Lazy, but Ryan's going to cut things off. Purdue always able to find exactly where UNC Charlotte's trying to pass and make sure, and it does not come through.
Knights and Lazy both went for that ball, and Plane wins the 50-50. UNCC should be able to get back in time. I don't think anybody was expecting that to be the outcome of that UNCC defensive committal, but it results in a lack of possession for them. They're still fighting from their back line, looking for clears out. That's a strong one. Knight down the pitch, taking that clear from Coolio Pludio and trying to do more with it in the corner. Purdue has been solid at getting back in transition, back in their corner, back to their goal line, wherever they have to be to stop whatever UNCC is throwing their way in counterattack mode. And with 90 seconds left, I fully expect UNCC to throw a whole lot more towards that Purdue net as their death timer ticks down.
Yeah, they've done a great job to only allow Purdue only so much offense in this one. Unfortunately, they are playing for behind yet again, but offensively,
what?
I cannot believe that went in. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. Well, we'll see again in the replay if that actually just happened. I don't know how Coolio Pluto just scored that. What?
I was in the middle of a sentence because I expected a pass. There's no way that goes in. I don't think I've ever seen the Dominants do that in all my 2,000 hours of Rocket League. Plus, I can't believe that goes in. That's ridiculous to even things back up. And now only a minute left leaves UNC Charlotte with a huge opportunity to send this to a final game.
Oh man, Game 7 peeking its head over the horizon here, but UNCC needs one more goal. If that's going to be the case, and that could be it. Knight's just beating the last man. Ryan has to rush back to make sure that isn't an open net for UNCC. This might still be, but Plane back in time, playing hero for Purdue in the waning moments of Game 6. Now, an opportunity to shoot. Ryan puts that on target-ish. I don't think it actually was on target, but Lazy had the touch regardless. UNCC using Knight to fake Purdue off, bump Purdue off now. Coolio Pludio down to Knight. The pre-flip pops the ball straight up. And now Purdue a passing play of their own to try and break out, intercepted by UNCC. Still an opportunity for Purdue to take the lead late. Lazy beats the first man in the midfield. Coolio Pludio follows it up. That corner play from Purdue still pesky in the face of UNCC offense. They'll opt to clear the ball long and just chase that down, see what they can get, see if they can get this ball to overtime. But now Purdue, there's no one back in defense. Coolio Pludio, one man to beat Ryan. They're in time. A diving save to get us to OT in Game 6.
UNC has had the clutch gene all series, but some heroic defensive plays from Purdue gives them a chance to close things out in a Game 6. What an intense final sequence we had there in regulation, but now with their series life on the line, UNC Charlotte has to find another overtime goal to take another game off Purdue. And it's going to start from the defensive end. Knight with the clearance, tries to find Julio, but it slows down there.
Where that Esper was being hunted. You can see the game plan for UNCC. It is track down Purdue's members in transition. See if you can get a player ahead of the play, hunting demos. See if you can get Knight space in the air to dunk Enchanted for the win. We're visiting Game 7 as UNCC has come from behind. And you want to talk about Rule 1 karma? I think Purdue's feeling that right now.
Man, it just a 50-50 on the goal line after such a slow beat in the air. It's been so dramatic, which has been crazy, is how dramatic these late games, or like these late game goals have been for UNCC. And proving yet again that when it has come down to it, they are the team that is able to drag it across the line, and they do it again, and this time pretty much against all momentum of the series, have found this in a Game 7. I can't believe that I just said that. But with one of the most ridiculous pinch goals I've seen ever, being the goal that takes it to OT, and then a very solid play from Knight to bring it across the line. That was a strange Game 6.
Yeah, I mean, to start off with that Coolio Plutio goal, I've never seen anything like that. That was the strangest. Like, he was very close to the goal, being on the near side, but still to find that ball in from that angle is insane. That will be appearing on the MrBepic YouTube channel in a couple of days. I can promise you that right now. But Brody, we got Game 7. Like you said, I don't know how we got here, but we have got Game 7 between UNCC and Purdue, and I am ready for an absolute heater of a game.
Yeah, I call it beginner's luck. First time on Monday Night Lights getting such a dramatic and close series. Thanks boys for putting one on for me. I really appreciate it, and we're going to see finally what separates these two teams in a Game 7, and Purdue off the bat, always on offense, off that opening horn, yet again trying to take it to UNCC. But Knight with some good corner play clears it for now. Ryan flying across the field leaves things a little awkward defensively, but that touch, not exactly what they wanted to continue the offense. But Coolio being a nuisance yet again off the corner, leaves the ball slowly trickling down into the corner. Ryan bangs this one out, and now we might see a bit of a change of plans here for Purdue.
Let's see what those are. That's not what they wanted in store. Plane has switched back to the more traditional Fennec, even though he was doing work in those off-meta car picks. But UNCC, despite the Plane card change, is still going to be scoring first in Game 7 as Knight beats everybody. The woodwork was against Purdue's defense right there, and UNCC cleaned up.
Hey, better late than never is for UNCC to score the first goal of a game. They waited till Game 7, but this is exactly when they're gonna need it. And that was a great carry with the ball from Knight, like you said, and just leaves things too awkward for the Purdue defense to do anything about it. And now they might compound goals here. That's a great shot from Knight. Ryan with an excellent touch to get this thing away and give his team some time to regroup on the back wall.
Just a soft touch off the side. UNCC's playing monkey in the middle with the entirety of Purdue being in the middle at the moment. But Ryan has intercepted that ball and does set up Purdue now for a little bout of offense. See what they can do. They could use something to flip momentum back in their direction, because you could just feel the shift with UNCC being that team in control at the moment. The more creative in offense, the just better linked in the offensive zone. And in defense, there's not much that's getting through them right now with Coolio Plutio being upfield. It's nearly a transition from defense to the goal line of Purdue. But the Boilermakers, they find a way out. They slow things down. We'll see if they can establish themselves in the offensive zone.
I feel the energy shift as well, and I think so far it's manifested in the fact that it seems like UNC Charlotte has been able to do a lot more in the midfield so far. Purdue having to take a wider rotation to stop a lot of these really good shots coming from the midfield, and this time Purdue's offense is going to execute and even the game back up to 1-1. That's a great beat off of the inside post here. Lazy, just a bit of a light touch. Knight not able to properly read it, and Enchanted beats both of them. Ryan there to clean up the scraps, and we have a even game with just about halfway of the game remaining in Game 7.
That was a product of the playstyle change of UNCC right there, because Coolio ran upfield, and so Lazy and Knight were the last two back, and with Knight coming off the back wall, he's only getting one touch right there, but Lazy still commits, even with the Purdue player right in their face. And now Purdue starting to feel it a bit more. Enchanted going for some plays that we saw a whole lot of when Purdue was making it 3 games in a row a little bit earlier in this best of 7. The Boilermakers are getting going again. Enchanted, one more try. That one denied. Coolio Plutio had that ball about 50% of the way in before he scooped it out of danger, and we'll stay at 1 apiece.
Such a high-level offensive exchange. Purdue, mechanically in the air, have been so solid all series. I thought it might be another goal for them, but defensive heroics this time on the side of UNC Charlotte.
Nice touch.
Keep things even. Ryan finding another demo in rotation, trying to keep UNC Charlotte from mounting any sort of suffocating offense. And that's a good demo, but they clear it out of their side so efficiently yet again. And now you got 2 players on this near side corner that can make plays together. All 3 of them now kind of stacking up a little bit, but they retain possession.
Ryan Just one touch here is going to give it possession. UNC Charlotte right there by way of Knight, 50ing the ball through 2 Purdue defenders and still finding one last touch off the ceiling. Lane is prepared for it, and we'll put that ball deep into UNCC territory, but Knight getting demoed and Lazy finding a demo makes Purdue's defensive structure a little awkward now. Lazy stepping up, popping up, going after Purdue's goal line himself, but playing a nice 50-50 win off his back wall. Will stave off that UNCC attack for now.
Yeah, he got 2 players in the air, which means his teammates had some time to read exactly where that 50 was going, and now we have a prolonged UNC Charlotte attack for now. That's a great speed from Plane. He beats another one, and now Ryan has a lot to do from the corner. Trying to beat a couple players. Knight's going to pick it up off the top of his car, and now they've slowed things down a little bit. This is how they might get the clear. Instead, Plane off the ceiling, and a demo from Enchanted leaves Ryan a free reign on the goal, but a great save off that far post from Knight. But it's not over yet.
It's nice.
Purdue players still lurking around.
That was a great pass, trying that at defense, but it doesn't quite work exactly how UNCC intended it. Purdue is allowed to keep playing their offense, keep taking shots that are hard struck, but not quite on target. 1v1 here, Coolio Plutio trying to get the ball past the first, and he keeps possession, but is bumped off the rock eventually. 0 seconds, the ball stays on the ground, and Brody, beginner's lucky indeed. You get a Game 7 overtime in your first Monday Night Lights series.
That is absolutely ridiculous. And so far, the Purdue record in OT is not looking good, especially in a Game 7 when this is absolutely what is going to decide the rest of the series. UNC Charlotte has won both overtimes in this series so far, but this game has stayed deadlocked for so long. We've basically played the last 3 minutes, not seeing any action when it comes to goals, and now UNC Charlotte maybe can hit the three-peat and win all 3 OT games to bring this series across the line, and that's a really good touch from Coolio to start the counterattack going for UNC Charlotte.
Oh, it's in!
No way!
It's just in!
He stays in the area, and it's gonna... The 50 goes directly onto his car off the save. That's crazy from Knight to stay within the danger area, and it's gonna fall directly on top of his car to pop that one. UNC Charlotte, an unlikely winner, if you ask me, in terms of how well Purdue played this series, but they were so good at winning games, and that's all it comes down to. They managed to pull so many games that looked not in their favor across the line, and they take it in Game 7. Wow. What a series.
Unbelievable. I love as well, Knight dropped Rule 1 in the chat before the game was completely over after the replay played. Because, like, I'm not a big believer in the whole Rule 1 karma thing. It's a fun thing to joke about, but after that Rule 1 was broken in the corner for Purdue, their fortunes just kind of shifted.
Yeah, it is stuff like that that makes you believe a little stronger, you know? That is ridiculous that after the Rule 1 broke, you're right, things started to shift, and Game 7 felt like a complete anomaly in terms of the way the game played out, considering how well Purdue executed offense in the air or not. They were able to bring these prolonged attacks to UNC throughout most of the games before 7. In that game, things kind of flipped on their head.
Yeah. Wow, what a series. That was a lot of fun. Brody, thanks for joining me, man. I got to kick you out, unfortunately, because it's 7 Central, so I got to move on to my next series, because that one took up every single possible second it possibly could have, going to Game 7 OT, but that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed that as well.
I did. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Purdue and UNC Charlotte, for giving us an excellent series, and everyone stay tuned because the games are going to stay crazy, I bet. They're going to stay
Absolutely.
This good.
We got Robert Morris and Georgia State coming up next. Should be another phenomenal series on Monday Night Lights. So make sure you stay tuned as we're going to take a short break as I collect myself after that intense one. But MNL9 will be right back after our short break screen. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Monday Night Lights. I apologize for the delay on getting the next series started. I had to grab water, run to the bathroom, all that, and Buds had to do a similar thing. So they're a little late, but it's all good because we've got the next series coming up. So let me change the caster booth around. There's always something I'm gonna forget because that is not Brody anymore. That is my man Sleeper. Sleeper, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. Ready for some more Rocket League. I remember a couple weeks ago I got to cast Robert Morris with you, and then this week they're facing Buds at GSU, who are actually making their CCS debut on Wednesday this week, so make sure to stay tuned for that. So this is a good showing for them, at least to me, to see like what they're made of, what kind of stuff they got, and kind of how they're gonna do in the future season for CCS. So it'll be fun to watch them.
I know we had we had a little competition in the selection committee trying to predict who we thought were gonna win the respective conferences in the CCS, and I've got Buds winning theirs. I think James Madison and University of Louisiana at Lafayette are their biggest competition, but I have full faith in this Buds team. They've kind of figured out a roster that they want to run with going forward, and they've started looking good. They made a run to second place at Voland this past week, and only losing to Tennessee in the grand finals once they did make it to day 2. So this team is looking pretty good right now, and I think Robert Morris, as you're very familiar with watching them destroy Texas State a couple of weeks ago, Sleeper, is going to be a good test for him.
Yeah, Robert Morris, definitely one of those better teams. And Buds, I mean, losing to Tennessee, that's, from what I've seen around in a whole bunch of different leagues, that's not really a thing that you can complain about too much. Yeah. Tennessee, one of those, like, very good teams in the collegiate scene right now. And, well, if you only lose to them, that's not too bad. So going up against Robert Morris here, another one of those really good teams, they're definitely going to have a tough challenge on their hands, but it'll be fun to see what they got against them and kind of see what their game plan is going against one of these higher up teams.
Right, and I mean, Robert Morris, the whole reason they wanted to appear on Monday Night Lights originally is because in the comments on one of those colleague top 48 polls, they were like, why aren't we here? And so I was like, hey, you guys should come on Monday Night Lights to try and prove yourselves. And they proved themselves against Texas State. And now if they beat Buds, like legitimately, I'm going to have to start finding some top 48 competition for them to play. Like your Michigan States, your Wichita States. I don't know if Tennessee is quite in their wheelhouse just yet, but honestly, Robert Morris has been proving themselves lately, so I'm eager to see what they can do against Buds, who hopefully they will get in here eventually, as now Dylan's PC has frozen. So we should be starting soon. He's back here, so we'll be getting started very, very shortly. But either way, I'm hoping this series is just as close as the last one, because you start off the night with a Game 7 overtime. You have high expectations going forward.
Oh yeah, for sure. That 3-1 down comeback from UNC Charlotte, taking it to that Game 7 overtime, that's just, it can't get much better than that other than just continuing that trend. So we'll see what these teams are able to bring here as we now go on into the game.
All right, 15 minutes late, no biggie. We're ready to get things going on Sovereign Heights, and Dylan's ready to get things going off the ceiling. Bad moves, solid touch right there, but GSU still giving a shot in the first 10 seconds. A close shave for RMU to start things off.
That's right. We saw it in the last show match that they had taken on that Texas State team. They started off a little bit slow, but then they eventually were able to pick it up and completely crush the competition. We'll see if that happening here again, or if Buds at GSU are able to hang that much better against RMU here.
Demented Sheep has a little bit of space. He's forced to take a 50-50 though on the sidewall with Buddy, and it takes him out in the process. Monk has just missed that ball, leaving Buddy alone in defense, and it doesn't matter who's back in defense because RMU capitalize on a quick transition, and they'll be scoring first.
Right, great pass off of the corner there from Illuminous, hitting it right through that back wall to Demented Sheep, and he's up 100% of the time for that. We saw a lot of those passing plays last time they were on here as well, and when they connect, they're really connecting. So if you're GSU, excuse me, you got to be able to shut down those passing plays that RMU are just so good at.
Here, Sheep's passing to himself. They're so good at passing plays. That one doesn't connect, though. Still converts into a shot on somewhat target. It does hit the post, but another scary moment for Buds. Going to figure it out quickly in transition defenses. That's not a great touch, so more figuring out to happen as Rad Moves is given an opportunity to drop that ball down, forces a double commit, and that is enough for Illuminous to clean up. 2-0 RMU.
Oh no, GSU kind of just maybe not talking a little bit too much. I've been noticing in this game number 1 here, they're playing really fast, but it looks like they're trying to play a little bit too fast, so then they are overextending and double committing and causing that backline defense to break down too much. And RMU, they're going to punish that 100% of the time, as we've seen here. 2 goals, 3:25 still left on the clock. Buds really haven't had much of that offensive pressure. I think they've had 1 shot in total in this 2 minutes here, so we'll see what they're able to bring for the rest of the series.
Well, if there's a player that I look to start getting that offensive Buds going, it's going to be Monk. Like, I feel like they all are a great team that work around each other well, but Monk has got to be that mechanical carry at times, and right now, he just got bodied on the goal line by RMU. Luckily, Buddy is back in time. Save that for being a 3rd goal for Robert Morris. Buds still struggling in transition defense. That closer than it should be, and RMU is all over it. 3-0.
Yeah, RMU are just constantly punishing here. Just such a confusing bounce in between players there on that back line, and I mean, that last final shot coming through is just way too good, and
oh, no.
Almost a kickoff goal here. Illuminous, the redirect off the back wall, not good enough, bouncing off the post, and now Demented Sheep trying to set something else up here, but Monk back the other way. Illuminous able to save it this time around, hits Red Moves in the center, but not able to get a touch. Now Monk, the player that you look for, according to you at least, to get that offense going, bringing it right back into that blue half.
Well, it's still a team effort. I haven't seen those solo play efforts from Bud. It's really just hit the ball hard and see what your off-ball movement and your follow-up challenges will get you. Because at the moment, that's all they're going for, is these follow-up opportunities, as well as the running ahead of the play. See if you can take out any blue cards, but off the back wall, that is a pass to Monk, and a bump from Buddy that gets Buds on the board.
Monk getting it going here for this Buds at GSU squad. Buddy just able to bring it around the entire defense. Red Moves not able to get up high enough for that, and Monk is there to put the final shot through. And now Buds, they're starting to catch up a little bit more, starting to make a little bit of a comeback. Still 2 minutes left on the clock, so there's still plenty of time. Monk coming in once more off the bumps. Gets some ball control, but Demented Sheep on that backboard keeps it away from the net for now.
Robert Morris, this is where they're scariest, when they're given space. I mean, Rad Moves, I think, got the flip reset on that pass to Illuminous, didn't even need it. Instead, Buds, well, put under pressure for a moment, but now Monk, a double tap from the corner, nearly set up Dylan. They're starting to find their mechanical ability and shove it in the face of RMU, but it's still that transition defense that nearly concedes another. Illuminous gets that ball to the near post, but that is it. Inches away from a 4th goal. Now Dylan's awkward. That might just leak in. It's off the woodwork. RMU denied again by the post.
That's right. It looks like Dylan was working there with very little boost, so is just trying to get back as much as possible. Luckily, that ball had hit off the post, but Illuminous now coming back down the other way, trying to punish once more. Monk on the backboard defense, able to keep it out of the net for now. Dylan now the one getting the save. Up to Monk, tries getting it towards that net. It's on target, and Monk scores again, bringing this game within 1.
That was just free for Monk here. He's able to get off the side wall, and Illuminous called off Rad Moves, going for that. He made that call confident in his ability to get a touch on the ball, but he called him off for no reason. Gets beat, and he was the last man back. So Buds given 1, and now, just like that, it was a hot start for RMU, but they have had their lead cut to just 1, and now Monk's at it again. A pinch off the sidewall, 2nd touch on. The 3rd one, not so much, as it's a 50-50 with Rad Moves, and Illuminous now given time off the sidewall, but not much of it. Buddy finds a clear.
Yeah, Yeah, we've seen these teams go back and forth quite a bit here. They get a few touches into the other half, and then it's just a clear right back out. These teams, if they want to continue some dominating fashion, they gotta set up a lot of that offensive pressure, constant offensive pressure. That's a good flick from Monk. Cleared out to the corner. Time ticking down here for Buds, and that will stay on the ground. RMU winning this first game here. Now that Buds at GSU have been able to find a couple goals, we'll have to see what they bring into the rest of the series so that RMU doesn't just come out the gates, score a few goals, and then is just able to hang on to it for the rest of the game.
I mean, look at that pressure, though. RMU, like, in theory, with that quantity of shots, you would have thought they would have been able to just hold on to that 3-0 lead without it being as scary as this game got. They put up 15 to Bud's 6, and yet it was still a one-goal game with Buds looking like they could potentially tie us up in the final minute. I was worried, you know, just like the flashbacks to that RMU versus Texas State series that you and I casted a couple of weeks ago. I thought we were going to see RMU just run away with it again, but Buds, they found a couple of nice responses, and now I think you're right. Without that hot start for Robert Morris, we could see very much a back and forth series going forward.
That's right. It could just be RMU getting a little bit complacent with their goals that they got. I mean, they might have just scored a few goals and then, all right, let's go for some fancy stuff. Let's not worry about it. And then we saw Buds get a few goals right back, bringing it within one, and then RMU being like, okay, I guess we gotta play defense a little bit here. So we'll see how this heads into game 2. Couple looks towards net so far for both teams. Nothing really coming of it though, and it's kind of back and forth to start off game number 2.
Oh, that's an interception. Rad Moves has switched from the Dominus to the Octane, but the car switch doesn't turn that shot into an on-target one. A little bit easy for Buds to get a handle on. But now RMU working through the corner. Double commit there for Buds is successful, as Dylan makes it weird enough to find a clear, but that is weird, thrown right back into the face of Buds. Good bump to recover. That's a clear for Buds at GSU. Monk the center ball, stopped by Illuminous. Dylan's follow-up, a pop to himself. 50 goes straight up, but Robert Morris playing good defense.
That's right. When we saw Buds at GSU on the defensive end, they were starved for that boost, just working with 2-3 pads.
Oh my.
And now a great shot from Demented Sheep. Monk having to save it off the post, and now an open net shot. Red moves, able to recover in time. Demented Sheep taking away the initial shot opportunity, but hitting it a little too hard off that side wall, and Dylan will capitalize and get this first goal here for Buds.
Oh, Rad Moves was kind of flailing out of the net right there. I'm not sure if that bump attempt from Monk is what made him kind of spin out a little bit if he was going for an in-and-out recovery, but that was kind of a freebie given up to Dylan. This one's going to be less free, but it's still a 1v1 versus Illuminous that he drops off to the side. Back in time, though, I think that was Sheep to help out his teammate following the respawn. But Buds, it feels like they're the team kind of in more control at the moment, even after the hot start from RMU.
Yeah, they're kind of feeling a little bit more comfortable with that speed of play, not trying to play too fast out of their reach. And Monk with a great touch off of the backboard. Barely gets through. Nobody from RMU able to put that out of the net in time. See all 3 members in there. Dylan trying to get the final touch, but it goes in anyways. And now Buds are now 2 up, 2-0, 3:15 left on the clock. And as I was saying, our GSU are getting a little bit more comfortable with their speed of play, playing how they want to, not trying to overextend or play too fast out of their comfort zone. Just taking it nice and easy and just playing around RMU this time around.
I'm interested to see how RMU adjusts that, because RMU is a team that is so extremely mechanical and quick that I feel like they can win like a game 1 in a series against a team that's not expecting that. And I don't know how familiar Buds is with RMU coming into this series, but that's kind of how game 1 felt. RMU just came in with so much speed and mechanical ability that they caught Buds lacking. But now Buds have adjusted. They're using these bump plays, these passing plays, just quick shots on target, take advantage of gaps in the RMU defensive structure. That is a perfect example of what Buds has been doing to score.
Illuminous just waiting on the back line, but there's nothing much he can do when he just is getting bodied out of the way by Buddy. I mean, that is a great team play there from Buds at GSU. Illuminous trying to get it back for RMU. Nice pass to Rad Moves, and that one able to go through. RMU now on the board here with 2:28 still left to play.
That was almost too easy. Robert Morris has been struggling to get a goal here in the last, I mean, full like 5 minutes of play. The second half of game 1, the first half now of game 2, and that was just a simple touchdown. Got through Buddy, got through the corner of Buds, and that's it. They're on the board here in game 2. They'll need a lot more, and they'll need to start stopping Buds a little bit easier in defense, but that's how you do it. Now, isolate a 1v1. Rad Moves, lets Illuminous run ahead, but he got that ball too close to his teammate, so no immediate transition goal for RMU.
Oh, and Rad Moves is there to just punish the missed touch from Buds there. I believe that was Dylan. No, it was Buddy who wasn't able to get that touch, and Rad Moves just pops it right over Dylan on that back line, and now it's within 1 for RMU here. We saw a 3-0 comeback starting for Buds last game, and now RMU look to do a similar thing in this game. But now Buddy trying to get that 4th goal for Buds, and it does not come around this time.
Oh, dunk! How does Buddy get even a piece of his car on that? That's unbelievable that he read that and still almost found a 4th goal for Buds. They are really feeling it at the moment. Robert Morris find a way out. They're still looking for that equalizer. That could be it. But Dylan, back just in the nick of time, does find a clear for Buds, but Sheep gets past the first Buds attacker in the midfield, but not the second. So the field has been flipped. Possession falls Buds' way, and they look for another. Monk goes high on that. RMU, though, survive.
Right, and I mean, sometimes the name of the game is just throwing your car at the ball and hoping it works out in your favor. And Buddy has been doing a great job of that so far. Double touch attempt from Dylan does not connect with the back of the net. But Buds, they still have firm control of the offensive half here right now, and now RMU finally able to get the clear out into that orange back line. Luminous trying to keep it there. Falls back for Rad Moves. He comes back after getting demo, and Dylan able to keep it in the corner and now find the clear out to open space. Monk rushing down to get that ball. Looks a little bit too much mustard on that pass there. Goes out to the other side. Buddy hits Dylan center. Rad Moves, cuts it off though. RMU still keep it within 1.
Monks keeping control though. It's now keep away from the RMU players. Don't give them space with the ball. Don't give them a chance to score in the final 30 seconds. But that is what this is. Rad Moves, fix it for Illuminous. Dylan has it red again. Sheep turning on the ball. Gets bumped away by Dylan, but that's a good touch from Buddy. No, Monk is following it up well. Bud still playing around each other perfectly. And that should net them, at the very least, game 2.
Right, Buds, in that last kind of minute there, as you said, they were just kind of playing keep away, and they're doing a mighty good job of that, just wasting down that clock time. And like I said a couple Monday night lights ago, no better time waster than just scoring another goal for yourself.
I think they were looking for that for a while too. Like, that 4th goal very easily could have come a lot sooner. So I'm not sure how that ball stayed up. We could see another one, but all right, no. Buds is going to spike it. They're going to move on to game 3. Robert Morris had a go at that comeback, similar to game 1 where a team went up 3-0. The other team had a go at closing the gap completely, but Buds, they shut the door on him at the very end. That was a great adjustment from those Buds at Georgia State.
That's right. We see a lot more shots coming out from Buds and a lot less for Robert Morris here. So Buds looking like they were doing a lot better job in that midfield, middle third, to not even allow those shot opportunities to come out from Robert Morris at all, and just keep it in that blue half as much as possible. And they were able to come away with some clutch saves too, to just not allow Robert Morris to continue that offensive recovery, you could say.
And their goal line 50s as well, to your point. Like those clutch touches, the goal line 50-50s as well. Because the ball at times gets stuck on the Buds goal line with Robert Morris trying to stuff it in, but that wasn't enough because Buds stayed home. They got good touches, good challenges, and did enough at the early part of that game to get out with a victory. But now the scoreboard's reset. It's clean 5 minutes back on the clock, and I'm very curious to see who comes away with Game 3 here.
That's right, clean 5 minutes, clean, even scoreline in the series matchup. Radmoose trying to get a good dunk in the air there, able to get it towards the net, and now it's popped out down the other side. And first minute gone here, and we haven't seen anybody score yet. It's a little bit different from the last couple games, but still some good offensive showing so far from each team, but the defenses are holding strong so far. Just as I say that, Radmoose taken to the skies and gets it past the entire Buds at GSU defense.
What a shot by Radmoose right there. The first interaction I ever had with this Robert Morris team, I was talking to their coach, and he was like, yeah, I got 2 crazy mechanical freshmen in Cheap and Illuminous. And Radmoves, he's a senior, he's an old man, but boy, is he the best third man I have ever seen. And I mean, you've got to be able to hit shots like that if you're going to be the best third man a coach has ever seen. That was clean from Rad, and it puts RMU up by 1. They kind of keep momentum going. I mean, they scored 2 of the last 3 goals we saw in this series at the end of Game 2, and now getting first blood in Game 3, it's got to feel good.
That's right. You may call it an old man, but what I see is just veteran presence right there. Just being that great third, allowing his teammates to just pop off those young guns, just to be as mechanical as they can be while holding down that third spot, and just allowing them and creating those opportunities for them. Demented Sheep pass to that center for Radmoose. That one's going to be saved away though. And I mean, Robert Morris are looking real good, real hot on that offensive third again. Just finding those passing plays that they're so good at, and haven't converted quite yet, but that's no discredit to the offense. It's just that GSU defense is finally starting to find his form a little bit more, not allowing more of those shots to go through.
Same deal for RMU's defense, though. Buds have been held in check in the first 2.5 minutes just about when they're playing in the offensive end. Those demo plays not quite working. Robert Morris is holding it together, playing smart about their defensive positioning, not letting those demos take full advantage like they kind of were in Game 2, at least at the very start. And that has led to a very transition-heavy game of Rocket League developing in Game 3, which at the moment really doesn't favor either team. We'll see if Buds can find one here with Buddy on 0 boost. There's a demo to kind of take advantage of RMU getting back in transition, but Buds can't convert. That's a fake right there. It's weird at the moment in the Robert Morris end, but RMU's making it work.
That's right. I mean, there's great fakes coming up there from Buds, and even the demo on the slow controlled play, taking out that last defender. But RMU is still able to hold strong, not allow Buds to tie this game up. And if it were the previous couple games, there would be a 3-goal lead and the other team would be coming back right about now. But as it stands right now, it's only a 1-goal game. Quick shot back the other way. And Radmoose, another goal for him. He finds the second for RMU now in game number 3.
Just a slight overcommitment there by Buds, and that's going to cost them. They really have to find their offense some momentum in the final 90 seconds. I mean, right now, I just saw Dylan's got 56 points in this game. He has been held seriously in check, as has the entirety of the Buds offense for the most part. Robert Morris, beautiful adjusting here, controlling the ball so much better, making sure they don't put too many eggs in one basket. They're just letting one player kind of run ahead, see what he can do with control of the ball, and then from there, if they want to invest more resources, they can, knowing that they've evaded demos properly or won challenges properly, and that style of defense is being executed perfectly by RMU in Game 3.
That's right. We've seen a lot of close offensive opportunities for both these teams here, but still only 3 goals for Buds, so RMU are doing a great job of not allowing those offensive opportunities to transition into shooting opportunities and just close calls there on the defensive end. And they, out of all of these, oh my goodness. I'm trying to speak stats, but Illuminous just, he doesn't want to hear that. He just wants to score more goals. Now, RMU up 3-0 with 35 seconds left on the clock. And, I mean, with that little time, it's almost all but over here for Buds in game number 3, at least.
I don't know if you're a Rocket League nerd like I am, Sleeper. Like, watching the precise movements and speed that Illuminous uses to get in position for the stuff like that. Like, the wave dash he took right before scoring that was, like, the most micro wave dash I've ever seen. His car barely left the ground before he was finding that flip to gain speed to turn back around for that shot. Like, Robert Morris have got themselves a very talented freshman in Illuminous, and I love watching this kid work. It's a joy to get to see him on the pitch, and Robert Morris, they have adjusted in Game 3, and they have adjusted very, very nicely, holding Buds to just 3 shots right there and 0 goals on any of those trio of opportunities, getting themselves back out in front in this one.
That's right. A great comeback showing from Robert Morris here. They lost the last game 4-2. So, oh, excuse me.
You got a Buds fan of a pet over there.
Yeah, they're a little bit upset that Buds aren't doing too hot right now. But, I mean, only allowing 3 shots, that's, from how the offenses looked, only 3 shots seems kind of low for that Buds offense. They surely brought it towards the net, what looked like a lot more than that. But, I mean, again, that Robert Morris defense, to not allow those shot opportunities to even present themselves that far as to get a shot counted towards your total. I mean, this RMU defense is doing a great job right now.
That's such a change from game 1 especially. I mean, we had 21 total shots in game 1. RMU had 15 of those, and that was a 3-2 win. That, a 3-0 win with a total of 8 shots. 5 for Robert Morris. Like, impressive control. They aren't afraid to play that grindy style of Rocket League, and they did it right there. Not many chances, just grind out the ones you can get, make sure they're high quality, and see if you can execute on them. And they were able to there. Buds, a couple hairs away, I feel, executing on their opportunities as well. So they're that close in the previous game getting shut out. I wouldn't be surprised to see them scoring a couple early on here to find it a little bit of an answer going forward against RMU. But we'll see. Robert Morris, they are a team that can play that precise style of Rocket League that'll just grind you down.
For sure. And as we've been seeing as these games develop, it's just less and less shots being taken. I mean, that last game, I mean, Robert Morris had only 5 shots in the entire game, and Buds only had 3. But just the quality of the shots have gotten a lot better. You don't have to take those 15, 16, whatever shots it was in order to get those 3 goals. It's just only 5, a third of the shots to be able to convert and still get that 3-0 win. So it's not necessarily about the amount, but just the quality has gotten a lot better. And Robert Morris almost coming away with one there. Pass center, rad moves, double touch, initial save good, but Illuminous, the follow-up too good and blast it right by that entire GSU defense.
What a clean trio of opportunities, really. That first setup from Illuminous through the corner and just straight past the near post of Buds, like that was perfectly placed. And the defense did well to stop that one, but it was the follow-up after follow-up after follow-up that Buds eventually crumbled to. But now their offense has space to work with, a shooting lane that is closed by Sheep right there. Monk, pass back to him. And it's going to keep possession in the name of Buds, but what can they do with it? As Sheep's going to turn on that, has plenty of boost, beats the first man, but play is slowed down. Buds developing opportunities, taking control of that center third, but that control is taken away now by Sheep and company. Pass across the middle, stopped by Dylan, and Buds now can get themselves out of defense.
That's right. Quality shooting opportunities here from both teams. Mainly in favor of RMU right now as they have a 1-0 lead. I mean, just that insane goal line save from Dylan, but I mean, when your entire team is barreling down on that goal line like that, there's almost like no shot that's not going to go in. I mean, there's just too much offensive pressure there from RMU to not come away with the goal there. And I mean, luckily for their mentalities, they did so.
All right. Buds is still being ground down. Like, very few opportunities in this game as well. Robert Morris still peppering their nets. That one close to going in. Very nearly another to add to the RMU streak that's going on right now. 3 unanswered in the last game. Buds did get the last one in game 2, so that's 4 straight for Robert Morris. And Buds just 1 shot to show for their efforts so far here. Illuminous pinch pass down to Sheep, and that finds the back of the net. That's 2-0 RMU.
Shot too good for Buddy to try and react for that. Such a fast wall pinch right to Demented Sheep as well. Just perfectly placed right for him to get that redirect shot on target. And RMU, they're really showing out here right now. Luminous taken to the skies now as well. Double touch opportunity. Can't get it down enough, and it's just going to fall center and an easy clear out for Buds at GSU. They have to try and transition, get something on offense here. Monk, that's a good 50, but it's just off the crossbar. And now Dylan trying to keep that pressure going for his team here. Trying to keep it in that offensive third for Buds, and now it falls center. Dylan on the retreat back for the counterattack. Now able to take to the skies once more. It finds the flip reset, trying to get it under Demented Sheep. Can't do so, and Illuminous able to get the clear out for RMU. It's very back and forth right now, but Buds are trying their best on offense. With that RMU defense just proving to be too good right now. Demo's attempt, but Buddy streaking across that goal line is able to get the save.
Robert Morris is playing the smoke and mirrors type of Rocket League. So many fake aerials, so many just attempts at a ball that turn into a demo, just straight up demos. Or Radners actually didn't get the demo. He sacrificed himself there in the corner, got the ball off Dylan's car, and Chief's just ready for that. Like, how on earth is Robert Morris ready for that? That's crazy.
Looks like they're feeling quite a bit of that boost from the Buds side. I blink for 1 second, and all of a sudden there's another goal for RMU. That was another great passing play there from Demented Sheep and Illuminous. As their entire team able to work so strongly together on that offensive third. I mean, we've been talking about it, and we've been seeing it a lot this series. Just those passing plays. But who needs passing plays when your name is Dylan and you can just dribble it past the entirety of the RMU defense? There's one. There's two. Not all 3, but 2 is good enough to get it into the net. And now 17 seconds left to go. 2 goals. I've seen it happen before. It's rarely happened, but I have seen it once. And I don't know. We'll have to see if Buds are able to come back here. Time ticking down. I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe bringing a little bit of that momentum into that game number 5.
Yep.
I'm saying that with confidence.
Yeah, game 5, and Buds is going to need momentum because they have just been sapped of all momentum that they possibly had after their game 2 win. I mean, Robert Morris just flipped a switch, and they changed their play style, became a lot more controlling, a lot more precise, apparently stealing a whole lot more boost, which is interesting because Buds, if you look at the finer stats, actually used 800 more units of boost than Robert Morris did in that game specifically. So I guess they're just stealing the boost, not having to use it because they're playing so precisely, and leaving Buds with not a whole lot, or situations where they have to expend a lot of boost to make whatever play they need to make happen. So either way, Buds, they got to find a way to keep up with Robert Morris lest they go down in 5.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Morris, they had 6 unanswered goals until Buds were finally able to score another one. And as you were saying, Buds used 800 more units of boost, but I mean, it could be that Robert Morris were just stealing that boost at the important times that Buds really needed it, and just cost that defensive breakdown just a little bit too much.
All right, Dylan's got plenty of boost there. I like that. I love the confidence from Dylan, honestly. Like, he was the sub for Buds at the start of the season and has come in and embraced the starting role with some vigor. I mean, he plays with pure confidence. We saw the solo play, the 1v2 moment in the last game to get Buds their only goal, and right here, forced to be bumped off the play so as not to do the same exact thing to RMU again. He's commanding a good bit of respect right now, and to boot, he's making his casting debut on Monday Night Lights in the series after this. So very excited to talk to Dylan about this series as well as Georgia versus Oklahoma, which we've got coming up after this one's over, if it's over, in Game 5. That might be a lot sooner than I think I was expecting coming into this one.
That's right. I mean, RMU, they're up 3-1 in the series so far. No goals scored in game number 5 here yet, but they surely don't want it to end quite yet. They want to make that 3-1 comeback just as Charlotte did. And correct me if I'm wrong, but was Charlotte the one who won that series?
Yep,
or...
they finished off the 3-1 comeback in Game 7 overtime.
I couldn't quite. I thought I remember seeing that, but I couldn't quite pick my brain for that information. But that's a good bit of control on the ceiling there from Dylan, taking it all the way back down, forcing RMU to just get a long clear, not really have much ball control quite yet. Another shot from Demented Sheep. That one's going to be easily saved away from Monk. And 3 minutes left on the clock, and still neither team has scored quite yet.
Monk, demo by Illuminous. There's another demo. Monk getting some revenge, re-entering the fray. And Robert Morris, all kinds of control over possession. Still even with that 50-50. Rad moves Invented Sheep versus Dylan. I think that was Buddy on the goal line with him. And the defense prevailing for now is Dylan right there again, getting Buddy a pop-up. But it's intercepted by Rad moves. Still, all the control in the world for Robert Morris. But he's got plenty of boost, but Dylan and Monk now, the two players low in the boost department. That's a good secure of the corner. And Rad Moves has nothing in the tank but Sheep right behind him to put that shot on target from the ceiling. And he's going to give Robert Morris the lead at the halfway point of Game 5.
That's right. When you have that many consecutive shots that just get so close to the net, eventually at some point that Bud's defense is going to break down, and we saw it finally did after 6 shots from Robert Morris. I mean, Buds were able to save away 4 of those, but that 6th and final one was finally able to go through. And what a great play from Robert Morris too, to just break down that defense just enough to just slot one through the defense finally. You know, with 2 minutes left on the clock, a 1-0 lead. I mean, that might just be good enough to win the game from the way that these offenses and defenses have been playing off of each other.
I am completely with you on that point, because so far, 3 minutes in, Buds have not yet registered a single shot on target. That's the first from Monk, and the entirety of Robert Morris is back to defend against it and allow 0 follow-up. Illuminous is off the ceiling here, popping that ball back the other way where Rad Moves is prepared to take over. I don't know how he knew where that ball was going, but Illuminous, he's got some kind of chem with his teammates. This Robert Morris team is a fun one to watch, but Bud's still trying to stage a comeback. Could be a fun moment for them as a center ball is intercepted. That one, not actually the same. Monk gets in the way of that, intercepts the play. Dylan allowed a shot that's stuffed by Demented Sheep. A demo, though, allows a follow-up eventually as we're weaving 11 passes in front of the Robert Morris goal line, but nothing comes of it except an RMU clear.
That's right. RMU did a good job of clearing that ball out, trying to get a demo on that back line to open up that Buds defense before it even gets close to the net. And Buds, again, on that defensive line, 45 seconds left to play. They got to get this ball out of their own half if they want to try and come back here and tie this game up. It's now in the blue half, but a demo puts a halt to that offensive pressure that they are trying to foster there. Another demo on the back line, but Dylan was there waiting for it to happen. And now there's so many demos coming out here from RMU, just trying to disrupt that Buds team as much as possible. Monk getting one back for his own. But 20 seconds left on the clock. That's a lot of time wasted from those 45 seconds. And Buddy trying to get some going now. Dylan's there. Good 50. 10 seconds left. Demented Sheep puts it down to the ground. Wasted in time in the corner. Back and forth it goes. Monk on target. Red moves there. Getting the clear. Dylan now trying to put it off the sidewall. Center for Buddy. but it's going to be cleared away by Rad Moves. Illuminous off the sidewall, beats Monk to the ball, and it will drop, and Robert Morris take the series 4-1.
All right, it looks like I have to find some more top 48 competition for Robert Morris, because they disposed of Buds right there. That I feel like, and I say this in the most endearing way possible because these are my type of people, Robert Morris is just a team of Rocket League nerds. You could tell every movement was meant to be enacted with a purpose. Like their movement to get to the ball, their demos at the end of this series, their mechanics at the beginning of this series, they are just so precise, and you could watch the evolution of their play throughout that series. That was a lot of fun to watch, because Buds at GSU, that's a wild card of a team. They can just pop off and destroy you with pure confidence in series, but RMU took away all possibilities of that happening, and a 4-1 result with 2 of those game wins being shutouts, that's an impressive display out of Robert Morris.
Yeah, and I mean, the 4-1 series score doesn't display the entire story. There's a lot of those games there that were 1-goal games.
Yeah.
Especially that last one, which was a shutout, but still only 1 goal scored in that game, and that one fell in favor of Robert Morris that time around. Maybe just there's a couple more 50s that just go more in favor of Buds, and we could be looking at a game 7 right now, but that doesn't happen, and RMU run away 4-1, and it'll be exciting to see what competition they end up getting to face into the future.
Absolutely. I can tell you with pretty good confidence that RMU will be back on Monday Night Lights at some point. But we do have to take a break before the next series. Sleeper, we got Oklahoma and Georgia, which is an SEC matchup. So if you're involved with the CCS at all, you're gonna have to predict this matchup at some point. So before you leave, I need a prediction. What's happening here?
All right. So I'm not too sure. Both of these teams, I think they could be really good contenders. I think both of them are in CCS. Georgia, they've got DJ. He's one of the goats. I mean, he's awesome. I know he's watching right now. If he's not, come on, what are you doing, DJ? Come on. But based on the result that happened yesterday for CCS, I'm going to have to go, as much as I don't want to. I want to root against DJ just because it's more fun. But I'm going to have to go for UGA with this next matchup here.
That's fair. I think they're the favorites as well. And the result that Sleeper's referencing, everybody, is South Carolina beat Oklahoma 24-2 overall in a best-of-5 series. And that series did end 3-0 in favor of the Gamecocks. So I think I'm with you there. But Sleeper, thanks for joining me for this one. And we're going to take a short break before Dylan joins me in the booth for Oklahoma versus Georgia to cap off Monday Night Lights. Don't go too far. Welcome back to Monday Night Lights. We've got another player turned caster hopping in the booth with us tonight, and this guy, he just played Robert Morris and has been playing. You said 6-man, it's like the last 3 hours as well.
Yeah.
And now you're coming into cast, Dylan. You're crazy, but I love it. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure. You know, I've been watching y'all cast for the entire time, so it's pretty cool to be on here for once. You know, we're only up. Went from a sub, and now I'm a starter, and I'm a caster. It's crazy.
It's crazy how fast things can change. He made his casting debut at Volland last weekend, and like a lot of us, realized how awesome it is. So popping in for the Georgia versus Oklahoma series, which, I mean, I know you're very familiar with the UGA boys. Like Oklahoma, another SEL team as well. But this should be a great like SEC matchup as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for. I mean, it's like we see all these big schools and they have esports teams, so it's nice to kind of see them compete against each other, thinking like, oh yeah, I know these teams for this sport or this sport, but also to seeing them compete for esports as well. So it'll definitely be interesting to see. If anybody's been watching the UGA team, they know that they've been on the up recently. They've been looking really good. I'm not actually too familiar with this Oklahoma team, so I hope they can surprise me.
So tonight it should be Maver, Piranha, and then let's see. Last night they played South Carolina in CCS with Razor in the roster, and I mean he's like a GC1 low GC2. So I'm wondering who they play with, because Razor was typically on the B team this season. He would scrim with my Huntington boys and be the best player out there, but like he could be exploited. He's not the same 18 player he once was way back in the early days of the SEL when he was playing on there. So I'm excited to see who Oklahoma comes out with. I'm actually not sure. But UGA, with all their roster turmoil this split, they've finally started to figure it out, Dylan, which is exciting because it's been like a roller coaster of a season for TJ and his boys. But now, hey, they're grinding. You said, what, Coop's at 120 hours past 2? That's wild.
Something like that. He's been locked in recently. It's actually been really cool. Me and him both were kind of in the almost starter kind of sub position, and so me and him both were like, we just played a lot together, and then we both made it to the same LAN together. We both performed at the LAN. Like, I don't know, it's really cool to see him improve, and I've been so happy for TJ to find that he has people who actually want to play the game and will play the game. It's definitely nice that he's reaching that kind of he's going up the top part of that roller coaster, like you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's unfortunate it's the end of the season, but now UGA, I feel like, is kind of using this time to grind with this new roster, playing at Volland, making top 8, playing on Monday Night Lights, still getting reps in their normal leagues as well. And I mean, Oklahoma, I feel like should be a good match for them. I think UGA is the favorites here, but like Oklahoma should be a good test because Maver and Piranha have been A-team all season, and they definitely have the mechanical ability to test these guys. Because Alamo and Coop, like, they've been grinding, but they're still B-team guys coming up. So there could be chances to exploit them in defense.
Absolutely, but we'll see. You'll see it here first. You know, everybody's been grinding, everybody's been practicing, and I think we're getting underway here, right? Give it a couple seconds. And we've got kickoff here on Champions Field, this beautiful, luxurious map here. We're going to see who gets possession first. Maver's going to hit it towards the blue side, but Alamo's going to clear that down. Has he got any boost to work with? He gets a 50, but Piranha's going to get that up. Koopa's up for it first, but he gets beat. There's a demo on TJ. We're going to see Razor with low boost here. What can he do? Nothing with it. He just lets Alamo go. Gets a touch to TJ. TJ's got a touch downfield. Can he do anything else with it? No, he can't. Piranha's got to pick it up now. Coop's got to hold it down in the backfield for a second. Gets a good 50. Alamo's there yet again. Gets an air dribble. Gets a pop, but he's demoed. That's not him, but Koopa, regardless. But a relatively tame start. Nothing too crazy has been brought out yet. I don't know how we're feeling.
I think we played the first 30 seconds down that same sideline of the field. Like, that ball did not move. It went corner to corner a couple of times. Everyone's just kind of 50ing each other. The defense wins the 50. They find a transition. Then they lose a 50 in the corner to the defense. It goes back the other way. Very back and forth.
Back and forth. Indeed, so far. Coop picks up that 100. He's off the ceiling. Gets a touch mid. TJ's there for a shot. Alamo can pick it up. He puts it wide, unfortunately. That would have been a great first start for UGA. Koopa gets a touch over. Can he get it past? No, he's got to Just take it back to the corner. Alamo's going to slow things down. Bait one in. Gets a 50. Bounces off the corner. Who's going to be there first? Piranha jumps for it. Misses, though. TJ has an opportunity to get it past him. He doesn't know that he's low, so he gets it over him. And can Coop save this? He's got an awkward touch. Oh, but he backflips and saves it in time.
That almost turned into a goal for both teams right there. TJ had a chance to kind of go one-on-one, but that free jump from Maver was crazy. He just went straight into TJ's card. Almost caught Coop out. Almost again in transition. Oklahoma finding something. But UGA's goal line defense doing well at the moment. Now testing Oklahoma's goal line D. But both sides doing well on the back end for now. 2 minutes in, still no goals.
And we're going to see Alamo pick this one up. He's off the sidewall. Almost gets another reset on it. That would have been nuts from him. Maver's just going to clear, but it's straight to TJ, who sets it up off the backboard. Who's there first? It's a UJ player! And Alamo's going to pick up the first goal of the series with about 3 minutes up on the clock.
Clean finish. Maver just lets that one go. Razor's not completely ready for the follow-up. And Alamo came off the side of the play to finish that one off. So, solid shot right there. UGA, they've been fighting for it for a while. That opening goal. Had to do a lot of work in defense, especially as Oklahoma's looked solid on the offensive side of the ball. That play is no different. Piranha gets one off, kickoff, and just like that, we're tied.
And we see Coop here. He could have decided if he wanted to go for the ball or the demo, and whenever he made a decision, it was too late. He couldn't get either of them, and that left Alamo stranded. Not enough speed or pace to get back to that one, but it's all right. We see a tied goal here. Everybody on all sides of the teams, they know that they're not invincible. They can score. TJ almost picks up another one out of the midfield just like that. He's bumping Maver off. Coop's got to pass down to the middle, but it's missed by... Oops, that was up for him.
Everyone.
Everybody's missing that one. You're right. Coop's rotating back. He's got a low boost. TJ's going to pick this one up, except he gets bumped out of the way. Razor's going on a rampage here. He's got 2 bumps. Maver's got to flick over, but it's on the crossbar. Nobody's there for the shot. TJ's clearing it out to an empty corner. Can they bounce properly for him? He gets a touch middle, but Coop's got low boost. He can't make the shot, and Razor's just going to clear that right over his head to a Piranha that was ready to chomp on that goal line. Alamo's got a good 50, though. Piranha's going to touch that mid. Maver's got it past him. Coop's left all alone on back for a second. He's got it dribbled past one. He's going off the ceiling with this. He runs out of boost, so can't do much with it. And we see a potential shot that goes in from Razor. Oh my goodness.
Clean. Oklahoma, I mean, they've had to do a good bit of defending themselves, but both teams, they're kind of getting opportunities just straight down the mouth of the defense. And if the back line isn't ready for it, like Alamo was completely ready to save that, had to react so quickly as it was a missile sent his way. You're not going to be able to stop what's coming at you. And Oklahoma find themselves a lead 2 minutes in, but now George is trying to find something immediately off kickoff, sending Koopa upfield. TJ finds a demo, rotating out of offense rather, but still nothing coming from it. Oklahoma staying sound.
Yeah, they're staying sound here. Let's see if UJ can kind of pick up the pace, get back that goal that they know they can get. TJ's going to get it off the wall. He's got a touch towards the middle. He's looking for a bump. Alamo's going to hit that towards the corner. Razor's just going to pick that up, collect it, slow it down a little bit. Not sure if he has boost, but he's got it past one. Piranha flicks it towards the mid, but it's only towards TJ. Picks it up, tries to get it around Razor, can't do so. It just leads to another 50. Razor's putting on some pressure towards the net. Alamo's got a good clean out towards the middle. And it's going back to what you mentioned, is that Oklahoma's finding a lot of opportunities just straight down the gut. They haven't had to do anything too special to really get that ball moving. Alamo's looking for something special there. But we almost see a potential pass middle. That would have been nuts if he pulled that off. It's a good demo. TJ's got it up the wall. Can he flick it mid towards Coop? He gets it there, but Piranha's going to cut that off immediately. Alamo's jumping for joy in the corner. Gets a demo on the goal line. Coop, can he slow it down? Gets it slowed, but it's right over TJ's head, and that's just a wide open net for Oklahoma. They go 3 up, they go 2 up, 47 seconds left.
I like the touch there from Koopa, like trying to get it down around a Razor with a ton of momentum that he maybe thinks is going to go around the ball or over the ball or something like that if he drops underneath him. But Razor had that read perfectly and dunked Koopa, who apparently was the last man back, as that goal line was vacated by UGA, who now with 40 seconds left have to do something quickly in offense. They've been getting chances, they just haven't been able to get past that last man of the Sooners throughout this series for the most part.
Right. We can see if they can maybe cook something up. They got 30 seconds left on the clock here. Alamo's got a touch towards the corner. Can he bump the net? No, Razor gets over him, but it's only towards TJ. Can he get another 50? He gets another 50 there. Koopa, but he flicks it over his teammate. Unfortunately, TJ getting a little too ambitious for that. Now Alamo's got a bump in the net. It's 50 off of TJ's head, though. It's going straight back down the UGA half, unless Coop has something to say about it. Alamo, he's got a straight touch towards the net. Is it in? It's bouncing off. He's got it in. And
that was a
just
beauty.
Not saved. I mean, that was just a clanger from mid. And Oklahoma was not ready for you. No matter how many players you send there, it's the beauty of Alamo's touch. It was great.
2 back, but they were just out of position by inches right there. So close to getting it. Now UGA has life at the end of game 1. That ball will hit the ground before 0 seconds. Oklahoma does take game 1, but that was an odd one. Very back and forth, like strange chances on target throughout that game. And I'm wondering if that's how this series is just going to be.
I would definitely be willing to bet that. It was like a lot of just back and forth, and then there'd be an opportunity where somebody had an idea, and 9 times out of 10, it would just end up kind of not going their way, and it would lead to a goal. Like that touch you mentioned by Coop, where he had a good idea, it was just TJ wasn't anticipating it, and it went in. And then same thing with Alamo, just blasting that one down the middle, gets a free goal for it. But we'll reset here with 5 minutes left on the clock. It's a fresh game, fresh kickoff. Fresh opportunity for both of these teams to either go 1-up or tie the series.
Oh,
TJ's got a reset, though. He's looking to make a difference.
I love that. Seeing TJ come alive in a series, there is some, like, respect to Alamo and Koopa. Like, they're solid players, but at times, I just want to see TJ step up and dominate. Like, take over the lobby, be like the GC3 SSL player he knows he is, but Oklahoma has just beaten the entirety of Georgia's defense, TJ included, as he was on the back wall here, gets clean bumped out of the way by Maver, and Alamo left on an island to stop that shot from Razor.
Yeah, I mean, Razor, or I'm not so sure who got the bump. Whoever got the bump on TJ there actually played that perfectly. Alamo pre-jumped that early, not expecting TJ to get bumped. However, TJ almost had to make an opportunity. But yeah, it's just a quick little pre-jump from Alamo that resulted in that goal. But it's all right here. It's only 40 seconds, and there's plenty of time to make a change here as TJ gets a beat out in the mid. Razor's going to probably control this. Yep, keeps it in the corner. Gets it over 2, actually. TJ's left all alone for a bit here. What can he do with it? He bangs it out to Alamo. Alamo, who looks for a bump, almost gets it to work on Piranha. And Coop bang this towards the middle. He's got a touch. Can he get another one? No, he looks for a demo instead. Alamo's going to hit that back towards the corner, though. And Piranha blasts that back out to Maver. DJ gets a touch on it, though. Picks up the boost. What can he do with it? He's got 100 and a backboard to work with. He's just going to dribble it towards the side. Maybe pinch it off, do something crazy. No, Maver's going to eat that 50 like it's breakfast. Coop's got it on the ball now. Razor's probably going to get beat here. Yep, Koopa's got full control. Just a free one-on-one. Can he pass it right? No, he 50s it. And yeah, definitely UGA getting more opportunities in this game. I see them cooking up ideas. Got to see them come to fruition.
Oklahoma's staying solid, though, in defense. Like, they're starting to get a better idea of what UGA is going for a little bit sooner. And that's a double commit. In combination with the demo, could be a chance for UGA. Oklahoma, I mean, it seems like a very improvisational Rocket League series so far. It's about who can make those last-second plays, stop the last-second ideas in the nick of time. And right there, Oklahoma getting the job done on the goal line, even with these quick, creative ideas from UGA. The passes that turn into just 50-50s, trying to body the defense. Oklahoma's staying solid right now. They're making the plays happen. It's not always obvious what's going to transpire, but Oklahoma turning that into a double. As it stopped, Alamo doing the same exact thing on the UGA goal line, figuring out what's going to happen and just straight up making the best read.
Yeah, we saw TJ kind of get possession out there. We know that if anything in threes, you're always going to want to keep control of that. And I think there's a little bit of panic in the play style. Maybe we operate from nerves, you know. It might have been this is their second time playing from today. Not sure how their Missouri Club Series went, but I know they played a little bit earlier. They could be shaken, or they could just be having fun with it like we were. You know, not too sure. But what I am sure was Cooper's got it past one. He's trying to get it past another. TJ gets an easy save though. Can he follow it up? No. Razor's got a shot on net. They pinch it at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I haven't seen that one before. It's unbelievable. Alamo's up for it though. He tries to put a far post. Can't do anything with it though. Razor's just gonna go straight after TJ. TJ's got it over 1. TJ's looking for a demo on Piranha, but he couldn't get it. He gets it past 2 actually. Now Piranha looking to make the change, flip, turn the tides, but it's just going straight back towards TJ. He's gonna pick it up. Try to air dribble it. Goes for a low 50. Koopa's on it now. He's going to try and dribble a pass, or 50 as well. Just gives the ball away. Who's going to pick it up? It's going to be TJ. He gets demoed in the process, but maybe it can result in something now. Alamo's going to cut that pass downfield off. He gets another 50 on the net. Koopa's picking up a demo on their side of the half. TJ's going to touch it. Try to get it past another. Gets it past 2. Is that an open net? No, it's not. But he can 50 in middle. No. Is Alamo there for the shot? No, he tries to pass it back to Coop, but Coop is already rotating out. He was done with that one.
Okay, Oklahoma again, stave off an opportunity for UGA. Georgia turns it the other way. Or sorry, Oklahoma turns it the other way. Georgia finding a stop. They're trying to throw everything at Oklahoma's defense at the moment. Even Koopa getting flip resets. Alamo downfield cherry picking. Razor though, a brick wall on the goal line. I don't know how the Sooners keep finding stops right now, but finally they let one through. Alamo finishes it off, and we're tied up with 55 left.
And that was definitely the cleanest offense I had seen from UGA, like the entire series so far. They were getting touches past each opponent. They were looking for bumps before they rotated out. They were staying close to the play, and that's how that goal was resulted. I mean, Oklahoma was under so much pressure. You know, Coop was on that reset. TJ was on the double tap, and Coop was getting a bump before Alamo even had the chance to take the shot, which was amazing right there. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going. Alamo gets a touch backboard, but Coop's not there. He was too far back, which isn't necessarily a bad thing you're seeing as Oklahoma straight down the middle. But TJ's got the save. He's going to take it up the wall. What's he going to do with it? Can he get a reset on it? No, he just gets a touch pass. Maybe he can center it. No, maybe he's going to collect it. And Coop's left all alone. He needs to get this touch. It's a good touch off the ceiling. Who's going to be there first? Coop's there to beat him. Is anybody there in the net for Oklahoma? It is. It's Piranha. He's going to slow it down. Hit it towards TJ. TJ's going to back off because Piranha's just moving it down the field. He's got no chance to stop, and he's got it centered. It's an almost open net here. TJ turns on a dime, but no one's there for Oklahoma. There's another shot from Razor. It's high. Coop, zero boost, saves it. And TJ gets to clear out, and they stay safe with 3 seconds left unless Maverick can cook something here. Or maybe UGA's turn. Razor's going to keep it up. Alamos gets a touch towards the wall. Maverick touches it back towards middle, and this ball goes to overtime.
It feels right now like the team with the best goal line defense is going to be the team that wins here. Because it's about equal opportunities for both UGA and Oklahoma. But it's about who can make those critical saves at the last second, because not a lot of shots are getting stopped before they get to the goal line. A lot of it is just on that goal line. And so, if we could see a team just withstand pressure, get a quick counterattack, obviously you gotta execute an offense as well, but it starts on the defensive end from what I can tell. That could be an execution though. But Piranha in his own box finds a clear that Neighbor follows up on, uses the ceiling to get the ball out, but Alamo return to sender, a clear down the field to set up UGA's offense.
Setting up UGA's offense was Alamo there. He tries to get a touch middle, but it doesn't result in anything. Cooper's got it past 1. Can he get another touch in the corner? He turns on it. Alamo can jump for it, shoots! It's right off the sidebar. No, TJ tries to go low with the shot. He can't do anything. Does Coop have enough boots to pick this up? He doesn't. He just takes it back to his own corner, where it's supposedly safe. Alamo, can he keep hitting out mid? Coop's there. He just redirects it towards nobody, unfortunately. That shot's not going to do too much. As Maverick now, up in the air. Can he get a reset? No, he gets a touch instead. He fakes it for Piranha, but he gets bumped in the process when he jumps up there. And now UG has an opportunity to slow things down, get calm and collected, but it doesn't matter. Razor's going to cut that off immediately. Alamo's got some touches on the sidewall. TJ is going fast as he can towards that middle. We're back to this kind of boom the ball away. Hopefully we can get a goal kind of play style from UGA that wasn't really resulting in much from them. We know they're capable of much better, seeing as that one almost went in a different note, but we saw how they got that tying goal before a T. Like, they're 100% capable of calm offense, but Piranha just chomped down on Coop there. There's nothing he could do.
They just ate him up. Like, what a dunk. That's a great initial save by Koopa, but Piranha apparently knew exactly where that ball was going. What a play. Oklahoma, they'll be leading the series 2-0 now, but my word, has this been so back and forth, requiring 13 shots from OU to win that one.
Yeah, I mean, that is honestly, you can't even say it's unfortunate. It was a good play from Piranha. He saw that Coop was kind of stranded with his options for the touch there, and he just knew, I'm just going to keep going for this. I'm not going to go for a soft touch. I'm just going. And they paid the price for it. But you know, we've been seeing UGA warm up. They're kind of off and on with how they go with their offense. Sometimes they're boom balling it, sometimes they're playing for their teammates. But if they can get this under control, I can definitely see this series going to 7. But as of right now, it seems like Oklahoma's on a steam train that's just not looking to slow down.
they're just allowing Oklahoma so many good shooting lanes that it's requiring heroics on the goal line. I mean, UGA had to make 9 saves on 13 OU shots right there, and a lot of them are just straight up shoot the ball at us, and we will see if we can get in the way. And for the most part, to their credit, they're making the saves that they have to make to keep this thing close, but they've got to, I feel like, play more defense up front rather than in the back, but their offense...
Less goal lines.
Yeah, it is a very much goal line series and a series of goal line saves, especially for Oklahoma as well. But UGA need to employ more creativity in offense as well. The passing plays, the extra touches. I would love to see that, to see if they can break down Oklahoma that way.
Absolutely, man. I agree with you. They need to just start stopping the shots before they come, but this looks like a somewhat open net. Who's going to be there first? Alamo picks up control on it. Maybe they can see some more touches towards their teammates on this one. Maver's going to pick up a full boost. Mitchell's the touch off the backboard, though. 2 Oklahoma players commit, but it's still an open lane for Oklahoma. Can he get it past TJ? No, he 50s it, and that's just bouncing straight up towards Piranha, who sets up a double, but TJ's right there to stop that in its tracks. And that's kind of better. I like how that didn't even reach an opportunity for a shot. It was stopped at TJ. TJ looking for a bump on Maver as Coop puts that shot wide, unfortunately. That probably would have gone in if he just put that on target.
Oh, now another shot on target. TJ does stop that before it turns into a shot. A little more proactivity from UGA here. And a quick transition the other way. Koopa's follow-up is successful. Keeps Oklahoma playing from their corners, but Maver gets past the first, not the second. Razor does turn on that ball, low on boost, but he had to go. He was second man and in the area. Oklahoma trying to flip the field, but they just don't have the boost fund to do it right now.
Yeah, you see TJ though with plenty of boost, looking to set up a double tap on this backboard, but Razor's gonna actually clear that one straight back. Alamo misses his touch, which leaves Coop stranded, and he challenged early for some reason. Unfortunate for UGA, but we see Razor, well, Oklahoma up by 1 with 3 minutes left on the clock.
Oh, Alamo just missed right there, and I'm wondering if that caused a hesitation from Koopa coming off the back line. Thinking Alamo maybe gets a touch on that he should wait on, but either way, committing there as a third man back is always risky, and Razor made him pay. So 1-0 Oklahoma looking to go up 3-0 in this best of 7 against UGA, who have been looking solid, but that is carnage in the Georgia end. It allows TJ a free out. He'll look to get his dogs playing offense again, but Piranha off the respawn with 100 boost, intercepts the midfield line, and starts a fight over possession of the ball.
Yeah, we need the dogs to put all 4 paws down and get locked in here. We see TJ with an opportunity to pass mid. Can Coop backflip this into the net? No, he just gets an odd touch on it. Razor's going to clear that away easy. Alamo jumps for it, but it's kind of open here. If TJ can wrap around it, he's going to go for the fake. Bounces it off the corner. Coop shot! Saved by Maver, and now that there's an opportunity for Oklahoma to go downfield, Razor's going to go for some manual front flip kind of play. Didn't result in too much there. Alamo's got to pass 1 though, gets a 50 though, and it's straight towards TJ, who gets it past 1 again, flicks it towards the middle. It's just a 50 straight up into the air. Who's going to collect it then? Now it's Alamo. Alamo's got to pass 2. Can he get this one towards the middle? Koopa's got a bump. Can he get a shot as well? And it's in. Koopa ties the series up for UGA.
An equalizer. UGA just wore him down. They finally grabbed control of possession here, and they made him play awkward goal line defense. Alamo faking that on the goal line is what it looked like, leaving it for Koopa. And by then, Oklahoma had already jumped, thinking Alamo was going to get that touch. So, a nice response. Now, if UGA can start a run here, maybe there is something to be said about a comeback to tie us up at 2 apiece, perhaps, in this best of 7. But they got to get that offense going consistently, and this could be it, as Koopa, again, going to be doing the scoring for UGA, just destroying that Oklahoma goal line.
Only hoops. It's payback. It's a slam dunk from Koopa on that goal line. He had to get revenge for that goal Piranha put on him.
Yeah.
We see UGA with their first lead since, like, game 1, I want to say.
It's been a minute.
But it's good to see them starting to get some offense going, and consistently as well, without a back and forth goal. However, Alamo's going to touch that back towards TJ. TJ's going to pick this up. Gets it past 1, but that leaves Razor with an opportunity to do whatever he wants with it. Doesn't do too much. Alamo beats him. Is that all 3 players out of the Oklahoma net? Alamo could have put the shot on, unfortunately, but we still could see an opportunity for offense because Koopa blasted it out mid. But Alamo's beat to it by Piranha. TJ's a third man. That's an awkward 50 for him, and we better hope that Koopa's behind Alamo here, because otherwise we could see a goal from Oklahoma as Razor sets that double tap up and slams it right into the net.
Hey, Razor's been playing with the B team this season, but you can see why he's A-team talent. That was a clean shot right there. Razor stepping up big time for Oklahoma. finding the equalizer. 80 seconds left, and things are starting to actually heat up. We're starting to see some quality plays turn into goals.
Yeah, this is definitely looking a lot better than the rest of the games I've played before. Maybe it's a warm-up from both teams to really start to fit into their groove here, but it's nice to see some cool goals going in. You see Alamo pick up the ball. He could set up a double for himself if that bounces down. Unfortunately, it stays up high. But Coop can maybe pick up the shot. No, just gets a 50, which leaves Neighbor with an opportunity to go up front. Razor's playing lead block, but it doesn't matter. Alamo finds the opportunity to go through and get it past. Double commit from UGA. But leaves Coop with opportunity to touch the ball. Razor's just going to flick it towards mid, towards nobody, which gives TJ a chance to get it past one. 50's it. Can he get the touch before and over Piranha? No, it's just going to play back out towards Alamo. And they're going to take all of their sweet time recollecting and not just blasting the ball back away.
I like that.
I've been hoping for.
Oh, I like the slow play, the patience right there that you're talking about. Just don't blast the ball away and see what kind of follow-up you can get. Actually be methodical with your 50-50s, and it almost worked out. TJ almost found a shot on, but he's forced to back off and do some work in the mud there. Taking 50-50s to get UGA some possession, a chance in the final 10 seconds. Alamo's late on the shot, though, so no go-ahead goal in the waning moments of Game 3. Instead, overtime. Again, here, another one-goal game in store in this series.
And as a player, that hurts so much to see. Coop does all the hard work, but TJ puts enough work to get that ball into the goal. He'll shut me right up. They win the game anyways.
Doesn't matter if you miss that chance in the final 10 seconds. Just give TJ a shooting lane. And Razor, he's been so good on the goal. I think he notched like 5 saves in the last game. Here, couldn't get the one he needed most. TJ takes advantage of the lone man back for OU, and that is 2-1. Georgia's finally on the board.
They're back in this series, and that's great to see. I mean, Cooper was putting in a lot of work to get that potential shot, and I can definitely feel some confidence being lost if something like that doesn't go in, especially being down 2 in a series, especially if they would have lost that game too. But TJ is just going to pick that goal up, and they're just like, hey, we're not done. We're still in this. It's been very even, very close so far. I mean, that Razor double was amazing regardless of who was on that line. So, they just pick their things up, get right back to trucking, and they're going to see if we can maybe get a potential Game 6, maybe even a Game 7. That'd be intriguing for sure.
That'd be nice after starting the day off with a Game 7. Robert Morris kind of stepping in and controlling the series against you and your buds, Dylan. Getting back to Game 7, I would not mind it.
Absolutely. See if Razor could pick up another clip for us. He gets a pass towards mid. That would have been interesting to see go towards the net maybe instead of towards the middle, but it's all right. Razor's got a demo on the goal line. Alamo having to play hero on that. Maver's got to slow down. Goes for a musty 50. Interesting to say the least. Alamo's got a great 50 out. He's only got 1 to beat. He's air dribbling it towards nobody. I thought he had a teammate towards mid. But Kuba had an opportunity to shoot there. No, he's just going to fake it. Bumps Maver off the ball, which gives TJ a chance to do what he wants. He just blasts it towards the backboard, leaves Alamo kind of stranded. Wow. Razor gets an amazing touchback towards the mid. Kuba collect. Of course he does, but it doesn't matter. Piranha's right back on it. And you're kind of just we're seeing a little bit of glimpses of that boomer strategy that we're not too fond of again. It's surprisingly, it's mainly been TJ who's been at the forefront of that, which is, kind of scary to think about. TJ is kind of the catalyst of this roster. Right. If TJ's on, they're all on, but if TJ's having to play, or Coop and Alamo having to pick up for TJ, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Not impossible, but we see TJ here with an opportunity to just flick it past one, and it's just in.
He was just waiting. Like, that's what the boomer ball strategy was. Just kind of make Oklahoma fall into a false sense of security, give TJ a little bit of space on a 1v1, and he'll do that to you. That's what I want to see out of TJ. Like you said, the catalyst for this Georgia team. If he's stepping up and making plays like that, who's to say Koopa and Alamo can't follow suit? As here he goes again, forcing 2 off the goal line. Alamo has some space here, but Razor off the back wall makes the read he needs to make, and Oklahoma does get out of defense there.
Yeah, TJ blasted back down, but this one's actually good this time because Alamo's going to try to set up a teammate for a shot. Cooper's got a 50 on 2. It's a wide open net. Can TJ just get there, get a touch? It goes wide. Can Alamo shoot it? And that's just a clean tap in. 2 up with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. This is the kind of offense that we were looking for. Just beat the next man. It doesn't matter if it goes right in immediately. Just make sure that you can set up an opportunity for your teammate.
That ball just sat there for what felt like about a whole other game of Rocket League. There was no one back for Oklahoma.
Nobody.
Great demo by UGA, and they're creating with these demos, with these solo plays, and that's what this series needs. It needs creativity, it needs mechanics. That's what Razor showed us in the last game. It's what TJ and company are showing us now in Game 4. I'm loving the change. We started out in Boomer Ball Simulator, but we're back to just regular, clean Rocket League.
Yeah, and that's what I like to see here. Maver actually is going to boom that one towards the net. Razor's looking for a shot, but he doesn't get it. Is that just a wide open net for UGA? Yep, Coop's going to pick up his goal, and it seems that everybody on UGA has picked up a goal this game.
All right, that was a little bit too easy. That was Razor just missing right there. Piranha and Maver invested a lot in that play, and Razor didn't spend his time wisely. Went flying past the ball, and UGA given a gift. Looking more than likely now that we see a 2-2 tied up series.
Yeah. What do we see here? We see a ball going towards the backboard. Alamo's going to try to set up a shot middle, but it's not going to be there for anybody. We see a double commit from Oklahoma, and dare I say, we see a little bit of confidence lost in this team. They weren't too prone to double commits initially, but we've been seeing them a lot more here in this recent game. We've seen a lot of misses, a lot of double commits, and that shows signs of weakness if you're a team. I mean, that's a very weak ball going towards the net, moving at maybe a solid 3 miles an hour. Coop's just going to air dribble this out, make a little bit of time. Piranha almost launches that in, and Razor's going to follow it up. So they're not out of this one yet. They want to say we're still here to play.
It's possible. I watched UTK give up a 5-goal lead a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Lights, so I'm down for anything at this point on Monday Night Lights. Like, crazier stuff has happened, and Oklahoma is good enough at making UGA make mistakes in defense to where a 2-goal comeback in 2 minutes, very possible.
You see Piranha almost get a shot there, but can Coop swing this one towards the net? No, he's just going to bounce that towards the middle. As you're mentioning, yeah, I mean, it would be intriguing, although I will admit I'm a little biased. You know, I love these UGA guys. I want to see them succeed, but at the very least, I want to see good Rocket League. TJ almost puts a good shot towards it. Cooper's going to try to beat all 3 Oklahoma defenders, but he couldn't get through them all. Coop does pick up a demo, though. Alamo's on the sidewall. Just drops it down, tries to get past another, gets it past Piranha. TJ's up for it, looks for a shot. Couldn't do much with it. Cooper now with an opportunity to do something with it. What's he gonna do? Leave it for Alamo. Alamo with the shot almost goes in and almost lands on Coop's car as well.
Wow.
Coop though is left stranded in the backfield at the moment. Gets a touch oddly kind of towards the middle. What can he do with it? Just pick it up yet again. See Piranha get a touch towards the sidewall. Get another touch. Maver 50s TJ. And this is just a wide open net for UGA, and Alamo's gonna pick up his second.
How was that just in? I gotta watch this again. Double commit at the midfield line, and the third man decides to go for boost. I think Razor wanted to commit on that, like trying to salvage the double commit, still turned it into offense. But, I mean, that was a very risky play again by Razor as the third man, and UGA punishes. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that they're actually capitalizing on these mistakes as well.
Yeah.
That's one of the hard... Is that just in? Oh my goodness, I would have lost it if we saw another cross map just in. That would be unbelievable. 3 times in one game. We see TJ though on a reset looking to get past all of them. Couldn't do so. But yeah, as you were saying, I mean, they just kind of didn't go for it. Coop passes it towards Alamo. Alamo's going to slow it down, tries to set it up. Can't do anything. TJ had already rotated back too far. TJ's going to get a good swing 50 on that. And that just leaves Coop with plenty of time in the world. He can control it. Try to get it past 2. 50's Razor. That gives Piranha a chance to get a touch. TJ's going to clean that up, though. They're kind of just playing in this corner, which is very risky. The corner's a very vulnerable spot if you're a defender, but I don't think they're too afraid. They've got a 3-goal lead in this game here, and I'm not thinking they're too worried at the moment.
Yeah, this just feels like UGA playing burn the clock at the moment.
Yeah.
Take low 50-50s, just keep it neutral, waste time, maybe find a 2-mile-per-hour 5th goal. Okay, it stays out. Fair enough. Oklahoma, I thought, was going to be conceding right there, but it doesn't matter. At the end, the clock has been burned. UGA played that strategy very well, and that will take us into Game 5 with the series tied 2 apiece. And you called it, Dylan. I mean, you saw the potential for Georgia to make the comeback happen, just have a couple 50-50s extra go their way in a game, and just like that, they're on top of Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a almost instantaneous difference here when you saw them actually capitalizing on their shot opportunities. it became a lot less, all right, guys, we're going to bang the ball out and hope that they miss. It just became, we're going to wait for them to miss and then bang the ball. And it really is that simple of just a flip the mindset. And then we saw that result there. I mean, a 4-1 victory is very convincing, especially considering they had lost those first 2 games. We could see here, potentially, they just go win all 4 in a row, you know, just stop the potential game 7. But we'll see what happens. We got a fresh clock on here. As UGA loses the kickoff, Maver's way up to it as fast as he could. Tries to look for a 50, couldn't do too much with it. Coop's going to pick it up now. Gets it past 1. Razor's going to probably hit the source of corner. Pick up the 100, though. Alamo's there up next. He gets a shot. Goes wide, unfortunately. TJ hooks it, though. Is that one going to go in? No, it goes straight towards Razor. He can make this out back to the mid. And it seems like Oklahoma is actually playing this bang game. See? He goes for it again. It's kind of just been back and forth. But Alamo with a big whiff. Got to make sure somebody from UGA picks up that touch. And yeah, it's just this back and forth boomer kind of ball. Maybe it works at the beginning to kind of scope out the scenery, see how everything feels for the game, and then one team's just going to make a difference on the fly.
I mean, Oklahoma, with this boomer ball strategy, has been making UGA make mistakes. I think what it comes down to is if Oklahoma's going to employ that strategy, they're relying on UGA mistakes, which isn't going to produce a ton of goals, so their offense has to do, or the defense rather, has to do a decent amount of work. On the other side, in the last game, they were not making those same goal line reads. They were getting destroyed by UGA towards the end when it comes to offensive productivity. And so if you're going to force your opponent to make mistakes, Oklahoma, got to make sure you're staying home in defense, not making risky commits as third man, especially for playing Boomer Ball Simulator again. But at the moment, UGA is solidifying, and these long clears are resulting in Oklahoma mistakes now, as that was an Oklahoma pass to Alamo, who finished the play off himself.
I mean, Alamo just ate that touch up and then let Razor pass it straight to him. He literally looked like he positioned knowing that Razor was going to back pass it to him, which is incredible. Alamo's been making a difference so far this year. So I definitely think he's been the one that's performing the best throughout these few games. He's definitely been showing up and showing out huge here. But we got to see him again make a difference in the midfield. He gets a touch, but it goes straight to Razor. Razor's only got 6 boosts, so he can't do much with it, but Cooper still bites for it and lets it get past him. Now we see Koopa with a dunk on it. Who's going to be there first? Is going to be Koopa, and nothing results of it. Is Alamo going to score?
What?
How was that net open for so long? What is happening with this Oklahoma team?
All right, Maver commits. That's the third man. Razor spins out, it looks like. It looked like he was going for a flip there, and then just his car just went 180. I actually don't know how that happened exactly. And then the other guy was running down the sideline to get back in transition. That is, again, Oklahoma's defense kind of faltering on him.
Yeah, but hopefully they can pick things up here. I don't want the win to feel too free for UGA. I want them to show that they're a good team, not just a team that can capitalize on a lot of open nets. I mean, we saw them make pressure, but we see TJ going for a pre-jump. What in the world? They went from 0 to 100 in like 2 seconds.
Oh, still, Koopa given a chance to shoot, and again,
it goes in.
It's an Oklahoma mistake that UGA is capitalizing on. This is getting rough for the Sooners. They started out making such good reads in defense, and now it's just gone.
Yeah, this is not looking too hot. I mean, Coop's shot bounced off the sidebar, which isn't too bad in itself, but then the pre-flip own goal off the top of Maver's car is absolute agony if you're a Sooner fan. Maybe they can cook something up here. Barana's got a touch towards the mid, but it only goes as far as Cooper, who's kind of just slowing things down here. TJ's picking it up now, and that net is literally open again as TJ picks up another goal for UGA. 4 goals up, 2.5 minutes on the clock, and it is not looking too hot for the Sooners.
No, I think that's fair analysis at the moment. I mean, Oklahoma started out, I mean, they won game 1 3-2, game 2 2-1, and game 3 was a 1-goal affair as well, but after that, UGA 4 goals at the very least in 2 straight games. They could find more, as we've only gone through the first half of game 5 right now. The Bulldogs have downloaded Oklahoma, and I feel for TJ's neighbors right now because I know how loud he gets when his team is doing well, and UGA is doing well.
I'm already knowing them neighbors are throwing in the noise because TJ is almost about to score again. He starts to center for his teammate. Coops up for it now. Can he set up a double? He's actually going to fake it. These are for Piranha there. But absolutely, I mean, this UGA roster, they are momentum based. They're very similar to us, and you know, once they get started, it's very hard to stop them unless you pull out some crazy stops. And I know for a fact they're in that call yelling. Maybe they're in the lab. They could all be yelling, fist bumping each other, having a great time. But regardless, we see UGA up 4-0, almost 5 if Alamo got that double tap set up. Leaves a shot for Cooper, who bounces it off the ceiling. Can you read it off the backboard? No. Razor gets a touch. TJ goes for a low 50. Is Alamo there for the shot? He jumps for it. Can he bounce it in? No. Verano's just going to clean that up easily. And you'd think that, you know, sometimes whenever you go up really early in a game that the lead falls apart after a couple mistakes, but it just seems that UGA hasn't given Oklahoma the opportunity to make the mistakes. It actually seems the opposite, in fact, as Razor whizzes right past that ball. Gives TJ a chance, but man, I don't know. It's just not looking like Oklahoma's been able to cook anything. And that's really unfortunate seeing this. They came out really strong in the first 2 games.
They just aren't forcing UGA to make mistakes anymore. And outside of the Razor double tap that we saw earlier, like, there have not been many high mechanics, high precision plays from Oklahoma in this series, and that, I feel like, has been their downfall. Once their defense stopped carrying the load for the team, the offense couldn't pick up the slack, and I mean, it's going to have to. Going forward, losing now 3 straight games, I'm assuming this game ends up in Georgia's favor, seeing how it's going right now, and losing 3 straight to Georgia, giving up 8 combined goals in the last 2 games. Oklahoma's got to figure something out in offense just to put a little bit of pressure on Georgia's shoulders defensively. Make them make mistakes again instead of just letting them do that to you in offense for a solid minute.
5-0. I mean, we know this Oklahoma team is capable. I mean, we saw the double from Razor. We saw their speed earlier on, but right now they're just flopping around like a fish out of water, and it's tragic to say the least. I'm hoping that when this game 6 loads up that they come in with a new state of mind, because I want to see good Rocket. Of course, I want to see UGA win, but I want to see them win. Can Razor pick up a goal for the road? No. TJ says no to it, and he's just going to roll that one downfield. Don't tell me they get a 6 to say the least. No, 50 straight down. That one was definitely going in. If there was one more second on that clock.
You can see it's probably going to be an own goal, too, with how the Oklahoma car was positioned right there. But, man, 12
100%.
shots for UGA right there. They started out, let's say, they went 7, 9, 5, no, sorry, 6, 8, and now 12. So they are really upping the offensive pressure on Oklahoma, who have been held in check for the last several games.
Yeah, but this is what I was talking about with you earlier. You know, this UGA roster is very capable of creating offense and capitalizing. They've been in the lab, they've been cooking, they've been practicing. And this definitely shows better resolve than previous. I mean, 9 times out of 10, but prior to this, you know, this recent uptick in grinding, it seems like UGA would be the team that's in Oklahoma's position right now, you know, being the ones that are being capitalized on instead of being the ones to make the capitalization. So it's great to see these guys have improved so much. Let's see if they can close out the deal in game 6 here. Maybe we see another. I'll make a prediction. I'm saying this is going to be a 3-1 victory for UGA.
Okay, 3-1. And do you think when do you think Oklahoma gets their 1?
I think Oklahoma's going to get their 1 with like a minute 20 left, and they're going to feel really confident, but they're just going to lock it down on defense, and it's going to be wraps from there. TJ's getting a pass 2 here. It may be wraps for Oklahoma if he gets this one mid. That's way too far mid as that one pinches straight all the way back towards Alamo. He picks that one up, gets a touch towards Cooper. Cooper's going to jump for it. Is he getting beat? No, he gets a touch pass. TJ's up for it now. He can set up whatever he wants here. Can he get the double? No, and Alamo misses a finisher on that one. Gives Mayweather the opportunity to set up a teammate here. He goes for the reset, but that's an almost open net. TJ's only got a 1v1 here. What's he going to do with it? He takes it towards the corner. And yeah, off the rip, it's just UJ pressure again. TJ faking it for Alamo. I mean, they're getting creative here, Bepic.
They are. And I love the wise play from TJ. Even with the 1v1, still keeping possession, taking it to the corner, and allowing his team to come help him out. But Oklahoma prevailed in defense. That's the kind of slack picking up that they're going to have to do one way or another on either side of the ball if they want to win 2 straight now against UGA. Almost found one in transition, which their counterattack game has looked decent. It's gotten close to scoring,
shot opportunity.
Their counterattack defense is the side that's lacking.
No.
That probably should have been a goal with how exposed the Sooners were on their backside, but Georgia empty-handed that time around, and now off their goal line, double committing Maver, turning on that. Can he find a shot? Not quite, as Cooper recovers and touches that out to the corner.
I can sense a little bit of panic coming from this UGA team. They're double committing a bit more. They're missing their shots, and they weren't doing that before. Hold on, Coop with the fake puts onto the crossbar. Unfortunately, that was almost amazing from them. But I've been seeing them go. They've been missing their shots. They've been double committing on defense. I think the nerves of being able to close out the series are starting to get to them, though. But somebody who's calm and collected is TJ as he gets it past one, leaves it for Coop, but Coop's too far ahead. He goes for a demo, which leaves Alamo all alone here, actually. If he can get it over him, then it's a goal. But it's Alamo with another heroic save. TJ's just camping in the net right now. It's a good move, which means he can pick up this boost, take it up the wall. Bates in one. Almost gets it past him, gets a decent 50 though. Is it going to be UGA player there first? It will be. It'll be Cooper. That's a half flip it towards TJ, who bounces it up the wall. TJ sets up a shot, looks for a 50, dunks it, but he goes straight towards the corner, not towards the net.
Koopa looking for Alamo. Another smart play. Looking like they're going to go for the solo effort, but using their teammates instead. He's snuffed out by Oklahoma, but TJ turning on a dime for that one. Oklahoma still making the reads they need to slow down what was an electric Bulldogs offense the last several games. 5 goals, 4 goals, 3 goals in those 3 straight wins for UGA. Now 0 in the first half, but Razor again, a third man mistake that he will get back to in time to save it, if not for TJ dunking him into submission. 1-0 UGA.
Yeah. And it's literally been a formula for this UGA team. It's wait for them to leave the net open and just go.
Yep.
And once again, we see that ball just go straight downfield, and TJ was there to pick it up. That save was almost there for Oklahoma, but unfortunately for them, we saw TJ clear things up as he wasn't able to clear that ball there, but he has an opportunity to get there first now. Razor's going to get a touch towards the mid, just leaves it straight towards TJ. He gets a slow down touch. Maver's off the wall, which leaves it for Alamo. Alamo's going to get a touch towards the middle. Cooper tries to pre-jump that, which would have been crazy, but TJ's got a deep 50 on the goal line. Tries to get it past 2. Gets it past all 3 of the Sooners. Gets a demo on the net as well, but Razor trades on him and leaves a little bit of a stalemate for these two teams. Barana has no boost, which means he can't do much. He just flicks it over to Maver. Maver puts that shot wide. I don't even think TJ was fazed by the shot of opportunity. So he's dribbling in front of his goal line, and if anything, that shows confidence in this UGA roster.
I mean, TJ has been around the block. Even as a sophomore, he has experience as a player. He is going to exude confidence against a team I'm sure he knows UGA should be beating right now with how they look the last several games. And so, being his confident self, watching that on the goal line, he's moving around, beating 2 now, opening something up for Alamo, but back in time is Oklahoma again. They've gone back to their goal line, brick wall selves. It's those third man commits that have been costing them. When they can set up their defense, it'll look weird, but they are stopping UGA for the time being, though the Sooners have to score in these next 45 seconds. They can't just be making saves.
Coop there making another save. We see another double commit for UGA. That's slightly worrisome. They are not in a position to where they can be giving up a goal and feeling confident after doing so. They're only up by 1 at this moment, which, you know, is a lead nonetheless, but it isn't anything like the 5-0 or the 4-0 they've had going into these last games. Coop gets a demo on the goal line, though. Can he turn on a dime for this one? No, he gets a dunk on Piranha, but we see Razor pick up the ball, gets it past Alamo. Piranha gets it past TJ, which gives Maver an opportunity with a one-on-one with Coop. He's going to dribble it around. Can he flick it in? No, he misses! And with 10 seconds left, I think that's the dagger for this Oklahoma team as that ball floats downfield. 3 seconds now. Razor picks it up, hands it straight to Alamo, and that will maybe... No, it's still up in the air. Can anybody do anything with it? No. Razor's done, and that is a 4-2 victory for the University of Georgia. Congratulations to them.
That effort from Maver at the end was commendable, but UGA just became something that Oklahoma could not handle any longer. 4 straight games is impressive, considering how that series started. It would have been very easy for them to just hang their heads. I mean, losing in the fashions that they did in games 1 and 2, but they turned it on. A couple of blowouts, couple of 1-goal games, a healthy mix of wins for UGA at the back half of the series. But Oklahoma, they just let it slip for a couple of games, honestly. Like, they were right there for the majority of the series. They just let it slip for games. Let's see, that have been 4 and 5, where they got 4-1 and 5-0. It was close.
It is unfortunate. I mean, we saw a lot of flashes of brilliance. We saw Razor's double tap. We saw their pressure that was going on the first two games. And we knew that Oklahoma could pull those stops out at any moment, but it just seemed as though after that third game, they kind of just fell apart. And from there, they just weren't able to pick themselves back up, which is unfortunate to say the least. I know those players have a lot of potential and could do great things, but they couldn't show out today. UGA picks up a win, and that's great for them and great for their confidence heading off into the summer season.
Yeah, absolutely. The summer's going to be, I think, jam-packed of events. I hope, because I'm going to need something to do while I'm off for this summer. But we'll see what happens then. Dylan, I appreciate you casting with me.
Thank you so much.
That was a lot of fun playing and casting on Monday Night Lights. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and raid Pyro J, as is tradition on Monday Night Lights. So go show him some love. He's not showing up in the raid category. Okay, well, I'm gonna raid someone else again. Let's raid UC Esports, the hosts of the Queen City Clash a couple of weeks ago. But thank you all for watching Monday Night Lights. I always appreciate the love you guys show. It's been a fun evening, and I'll be back next Monday as per usual. It's a CCS partnership night for Monday Night Lights. Got some SCL teams playing some CCS teams. Should be some really good show matches. Top of the CCS, top of the SCL taken to the pitch next Monday. But I will see you then. Until farewell, peace out.